pay for your food, the bus schedule that you may need to follow, it's all there in the AppSpace app. Your timetable, your schedule for classes, your contacting of your lecturers, it's all there in the AppSpace. It's your central information center.
The CPU.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's number 1, 2, 3 for your academic part, your campus life, events that are happening on campus will be there. Okay, constantly, if you turn on the notifications, then you'll be notified of events for all events that happen.
You know, it's a bit unusual for me just to share. When I first came to APU, you know, most of us probably always go to the university site, right? When we want to check on anything that we need, like, you know, but at APU, you know, we are always different. So it's the AP space that is like the central place that you go to all the time, you know, if you want to check on anything that is relevant to you. Yeah. So I think that is how important it is for you to know about what are the services that are available in the AP space, yeah?
And apart from the AP space, which is your central information hub, 2 main digital technologies that we really rely on for our learning is Microsoft Teams. Is there anyone here who has not used Microsoft Teams before? It's okay. Awesome. Don't worry. You can.
Good. Looks like they are all on board with digitals.
There's 1 or 2 of you who are really shy to put your hands up, so you're putting it up very slowly. I can see you. Don't worry. I see you. I see you. It's fine. It's fine. Microsoft Teams is an app from Microsoft that is so easy to learn that once you learn and you're using it, you're probably wondering, how did we do stuff before this? Are you familiar with using Instagram? Yeah, just nod. Okay, cool. WhatsApp? Yeah, good. Facebook, maybe a little bit old-fashioned now, Facebook, but you know how to use that, right? If you handle these 3 things, Microsoft Teams will come so naturally. It's like a combination of it. Your lecturer posts stuff, you reply to stuff. You can post stuff if you want to. Right? It's just like, I want to say it's just like Instagram, but I don't want you to be posting pictures of your lunch and dinner on it. So, but it works the same way. It's a social media-esque type of education or collaboration tool. That's number 1. Number 2, the software or platform or learning management system known as Moodle. Okay, we'll come to that in a bit, but before we go there, just want to tell you that whatever systems, apps, tools that we're using here at APU, right? They are all designed, created to be compatible with pretty much any device that you own, pretty much any operating system that you use, which simply means that you don't need to now go out and buy a new device. Whatever system, whatever device you have, whether you're on Windows 7 Plus, we're now at Windows 10, or some people who feel that Windows is too mainstream. I'm more of an Ubuntu person. Anything, it works. Right? So every tool, it's consistent across devices. Okay. Any questions so far? Anything you want to ask? Anything at all? Yes. Can we get a mic to our friend? Can you raise your hand, sir? Yeah, at the back, in the middle.
Our PhD student.
Yes. Ah. Not yet.
Thank you. Firstly, is a short question.
Would you mind introducing yourself, sir?
Oh, sorry. My name is Hamza. I am from Djibouti, nearest to the Somalia and Yemen.
Okay.
So it's a small country, like Singapore.
Okay.
Actually, I do my master's in APU in global management and digital marketing. So my question is related to the digital hub, like Microsoft. The digital learning hub doesn't offer in the short training without the master's classes or like bachelor. A short training, like a training certification without the classes.
A short certification on what, Hamza?
Microsoft in
Microsoft tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Microsoft tools.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I think for those of you who are not very clear with what Hamza is asking whether the Digital Learning Hub of APU offers any short certification courses in Microsoft tools like Teams, etc. Correct, Hamza? Right. We don't. The Digital Learning Hub per se, we do not offer these short courses simply for one reason and one reason alone. Microsoft offers them at no cost. With your TP, your email, your APU email address, all you need to do is go to Microsoft Education Center. Google this, Microsoft Education Center, and you can take up to 2,700 Microsoft short courses on everything from Office 365 to Microsoft Teams to Excel to PowerPoint. Short courses. Some are even as short as half an hour. And you get Microsoft certifications for that. So we felt that there's no reason for us to compete with Microsoft. Right? And as an APU student with your APU email address, these are accessible to you and they are free to do as well.
So good, that's really excellent. So that could be an example of a micro-credential Dr. Hari was talking about, where you go and do the short courses and you get the certification immediately after you have completed it. Yeah. So I think this will be great for any one of you who wants to pick up any of those courses. That such a variety of courses for you. Thanks, Hamza, for your question.
Thank you.
Just remember www.microsofteducationcenter.com. And I'm sure there'll be a question there. Are you an educator or a student? So with your APU email address, it's free. Right? So.
Okay, let's move on to the digital learning experiences that you may come across at the Asia Pacific University. I think most of you might know what synchronous learning is all about. Yeah. We're going to talk about all these 4 different learning experiences here: synchronous learning, hybrid, asynchronous, and blended. Okay, let me start with the synchronous, which is something that we do all the time and it's the most popular actually, or has been the most popular in the last 2 years. Most of the learning institutions, use only one software to get across to you. You know, either they use the Teams or they use Zoom or any other ones that will connect you to connect the lecturer to the student. But at APU, we are going across the 2 systems that we have. We are using both the systems. So there may be things that you will see in the Moodle. Sometimes I personally, I think Jonathan also love to do some pre-class activities with our students before we meet them. Yeah, so you may have lecturers who are doing this. So do look out for your Moodle site as well, where your course is sitting. After Jonathan is going to show you what it looks like. What does that Moodle, whole Moodle learning environment look like to you? And then that's the Teams. Then the Teams is the central one that we use for synchronous. So I hope all of you know what is synchronous. It is same time. Previously, we used to have same time, same place. That is when this is now same time, same place for us. Yeah, this is also a form of a synchronous. But nowadays, when we use the word synchronous, it is more for the online students. So all our remote students who are out there, you are still on that synchronous thing with us, together with those who are in class. And this can also then be hybrid, because we have in-class students, yeah, and we have participants who are online with us. It can also be a representation of the hybrid learning system. So maybe we can just go to hybrid now. So for the hybrid, APU has invested quite hugely, you know, to provide us with the hybrid classrooms. I think there are about 20 or more
That's
now.
About 80 hybrid classrooms.
Yes. So most of our classrooms, and the greatest unique thing about our hybrid classrooms, it has the tracking camera that tracks either the learners or the lecturer, so that those who are remote can see what the classroom environment is all about, and there will be better interaction. So Jonathan has done quite a lot of training. He trained the lecturers at Asia Pacific University on the hybrid classroom teaching and learning techniques and how to manage the technologies in our hybrid classrooms.
Can I just add in a caveat, Prof?
Sure.
As what Prof. Apta said, the hybrid classroom setup is excellent, as in you can be at home and you will still see the classmates, your classmates, you will still see your lecturer no matter where he moves around in the class. But I would just want to add this caveat. The hybrid classroom is primarily set up for those who cannot, really cannot come to campus. We really encourage you as much as you can to have that experience on campus. Right?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, actually we do. I think despite the digital learning environment, which is becoming more and more popular, we still appreciate that physical contact with our students. So whenever you have the opportunity for a physical session with your lecturers and to meet up with your classmates, please take advantage of that. Yeah, and the hybrid classroom is one of those delivery systems that allows you to be on campus, yeah, as much as possible. Now, having said that, we also think that some flexibility in learning, especially for postgraduate students, is vital. How many of you are working students who are doing this part-time? So most of you are full-time students, yeah, that's good. Oh, part-timers. I have been a part-time student from my master's onwards to my PhD. And I know what it's like to be a part-time student because and on top of that, I was already married, I had children and all that. So it was a huge responsibility and task. And I always appreciated the flexibility that the university gave us as part-time students to study at our own pace and stuff like that. And I was lucky because where I studied, both the universities were very much into technology enhanced learning already. This was in the 1980s, yeah, starting in the 1980s, we were already in this kind of mode of learning. So I got a lot of flexibility, but the flexibility that you are getting today and at Asia Pacific University in the asynchronous mode is something that has been experimented by us many times over. And we are the Digital Learning Hub is getting our lecturers to create more and more asynchronous learning courses for you so that it provides you a little bit of that flexibility in case you are working and you are called for a very important assignment. I had students who were with the government service and with the armed forces, you know, they were top-notch people and they were constantly flying here and there. So the asynchronous learning where we create all the learning sequences, everything that you need to do or to learn is already available in our Moodle system and you just learn it off from there, yeah? So we hope for postgraduate students that this flexibility will be coming more and more for you, but the choice will be up to you, you know, sometimes you may, the lecturer themselves might be busy at a conference or stuff like that, or you may suddenly get a public holiday like what we had the last few days, last week. So so there's no compromise on your learning. The content is already there, it's already designed, you know, you can just go on and continue with your learning processes, yeah? So those are the asynchronous learnings, which mostly are in the Moodle platform, yeah?
Can I just add something, Prof, again?
Yeah, sure.
Just to add a little bit more on the asynchronous learning, apart from what, again, like what Prof said, it helps you if you're busy, etc. But looking at most of you being full-time students, another benefit that I've seen personally from this is you can always go back and review the lesson that you had with the lecturer at your own convenience. It's an asynchronous content is there on Moodle. You had a class today. 2 months later, you're preparing for your exam. You always can go back to Moodle, just run through that lesson again, and everything is there. Right? So there's other benefits apart from what Prof mentioned.
Yeah, and also we experimented very early on with asynchronous learning. I think the first fully asynchronous program I launched was in 2009. Our students were of the world will stuff like that. You know, we had students ranging from many different countries. They totally enjoyed this kind of learning. I mean, that of course we had no choice because they were in their own countries. They were working full time, but for them, when we found out later on, when we did you know, our reviews with them and all that, they came back and told us, they said, look, you know, for us there was no reduction in the learning experience. Because the one thing for postgraduates is that we want you to take charge of the learning process. So this kind of environments are good, where you take charge, you get access to the learning resources, and we do a lot of online discussions. In fact, I was so proud to tell a lot of people at one time, I have not met my students, but I know exactly how they think. Because that was what we were reading their brains. We were reading into their thinking processes. So I think in a way that was good, you know, that we were actually able to still connect with our students using these different kinds of learning systems. Yeah. Okay, last but not least is the blended learning system. Again, I think this is another interesting one, which I personally experimented at the Open University Malaysia and the Hamdan bin Muhammad Smart University. We did a lot of blended learning in these two universities. And again, most of our students were mostly working. Yeah, but at Hamdan University, my students were just the master's and PhD students. I didn't have any undergraduate students. And they were working. And sometimes even to come for 3 sessions, the beginning, the middle, and the last session for physical, there were huge complaints from them. It's like, I have to travel 1 hour. I was in a traffic jam and da, 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 da. So they were constantly asking us for a completely asynchronous or a blended learning environment with no physical meetings. Although in those two universities, we had the physical meetings. But I love the physical meetings. I love to meet with my students. I want to meet them all the time. I look forward, like I will meet them in week 1, right? So these are all the weeks, for example, 14 weeks. Then I would be looking forward to week 7 or week 8, where I will meet them again physically. So as we say, although we are having all this kind of different forms of digital learning environments, we still appreciate that physical contact with our students. I'm sure you also appreciate the physical contact with your peers. Yeah. So these are some of the learning environments that are in action at the Asia Pacific University for you. Yeah.
Another reason why we want you to know about all these different types of learning environments is that to assure you that no matter which one you suddenly encounter, if you encounter a synchronous session or due to some reason you encounter some form of blended, rest assured that the quality of the learning is not compromised in any way. Right?
That's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No compromise on that.
Yeah. Thanks. All right. So now we go into a little bit more specific on the 2 different tools that I mentioned at the beginning, Moodle and Teams. Right. So if you can see the purple box or blue, depending on which angle you're seeing it from, is Moodle, our learning management system. Okay. And Moodle is used in APU, as you can see, as it's an official student register. It means if you are officially registered as an APU student, your details will be in Moodle. If you find that for some reason you walk into a class next week, you start classes next week, guys, or this week? Means this week or next week? This week, thank you. So if you walk into class this week and you find that your lecturers put out the attendance list and your name's not there, you might want to get that checked out because it means your name may not be in the system. Right, so it's the official register. It's also the official repository of class materials, your notes, your slides, video references that lecturers give, they will be in Moodle at all times. They may also be on Teams, but they will be in Moodle because that's the official repository, right? And then your exams and assignments, etc., are done via Moodle. Okay? All your assignment submissions, your exam, or what we say, formative and summative assessments, they're all in Moodle. Which means one more thing that you must take note. If for some reason you find your name, yourself not in Moodle, or for some reason you find your Moodle account compromised, blocked or whatever, you need to sort that out ASAP, because that's where the exams and all are held. Hey guys, so just keep that side note, but just keep that in note as well. Keep that somewhere in the back of your mind. Right. Teams, the yellow box on the screen, is more of a collaboration and communication platform. As I mentioned earlier, Teams is really easy to learn and use. It is used for the lecturer to communicate with the class, for the class to communicate with each other, and it's also for collaborative work. Teams is a cloud-based app, which means if you are sharing a Teams channel with your class, anything that you say there, even if it's a Word document that's shared there, updated by one person, everybody else will have access to the updated version in real time. Okay, so collaboration, what we use it for is for the live lectures, for those instances where it's an online class or a hybrid class, the live lectures, the tutorials. We're trying to move online, although I know it says here online discussions, but we're trying to move online discussions more into Moodle. Right? But Teams is also where you can have informal chats and group work with your class. This is how Moodle will look like. For those of you who did your degree in APU, this is extremely familiar. For those of you who are new to APU, this is Moodle, and those boxes or those tiles that you see at the top are the modules that you are registered for. Clicking on any of those modules will then take you into the module where you will find your lecturer having made available the lecture notes, the lecture slides, etc. Okay, very simple. And yeah, it's a little bit small on the screen, but it's lecture slides, teaching, learning materials, tutorial exercises, module handbook, okay, all that you need for academic work. There's even sample assessments, question paper, final exam, all the samples, right? All right, then moving on to Teams. Teams, like I said earlier, it's a simplified tool to simplify collaboration. Again, if you've been in APU, you know that this is how your Teams looks like. Your lecturer posts messages. The blue lines that you see here are actually the classes that the lecturer is scheduling. So when you need to, at that particular time, you need to join a class, you just click on this blue thing here and then select the word that says join and you're in, right? That's just how it looks like. Once you click on that and you join the class, this is what you see. This is how your online class will look like. Okay. Again, I mean, you may have done your degree outside of APU, and I know there are a lot of platforms, Zoom, Google Classroom, so many, right? But this is how Teams looks like in terms of a classroom. Yeah, of course, it looks very empty in the middle because it is a sample. But when you have a class, you'll find that you see all your classmates display pictures here. Or if they've turned on their cameras, you'd see all of them here, which is something we also want to encourage you to do when you're in class, if it's an online, to turn on your cameras.
How many of you are camera shy?
How many of you are comfortable with turning on your cameras?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we do recognize that it's a little bit of a comfort factor as well, and sometimes you're not in the best possible environment. Um, why we encourage you to is because we've also learned that a camera that's turned on when you can see people, your lecturer can see you, not just your avatar or your display picture, that increases the engagement, right? But think about it. Yeah, so the Teams classroom comes with all these different features. Like I said earlier, right? It's just like Instagram and Facebook. You can like it, you can love it. Okay. It also has the chat space, just like WhatsApp again. Okay. You can talk to people. The breakout rooms are interesting because they allow the lecturer to break up the session into smaller groups within the meeting. Then you have small group discussions before you come back to the main group to share. Right?
Request for the breakout rooms if your lecturers are not using, because those are the most engaging ones when you get into the breakout rooms, because that's where you got smaller teams and you get to discuss questions and stuff like that and give your views. That's when you can really actually chat with each other and, you know, find out solutions to problems that are posed by the lecturer and stuff like that. So remember this word, breakout rooms, yeah, so that you can ask your lecturer, hey, can we get into the breakout rooms? Yes, okay, good. That's when you get more energized when you get into those rooms.
If you remember your studying in the BC era, right, before COVID era, you remember that you were in classrooms and then there would be small group discussions and you come back to the main. Breakout rooms help in that in an online setting. Okay, so these are some of the key features that's available in the Teams classroom. Apart from Teams and Moodle, you may experience lecturers using a whole list of other edtech education technology tools. Being post-grad, I suspect more emphasis will be on tools like, if you look at the bottom left hand, you see the cloud, you see Stream, you see SharePoint, you see OneNote. These are all tools that help you to collaborate. Again, don't worry that if you look at it right now and you think like, what are all these icons? Never seen them. Don't worry. They are all very intuitive tools, and you start using them, they become very familiar. But if you find you have lecturers who are using tools like Quizlets and Padlets, join them, make use of it. They're all tech tools that help you to recall better, to learn better, etc. Okay.
Yeah.
Some experience.
Yeah. I think so. You have gotten an overview, yeah, of what are the major learning environments. There are two that we are using. That's the Teams and the Moodle learning environment. Okay. Now we play around with how we use Teams and Moodle. So that gives us that 4 learning environments we spoke about: the blended, the synchronous, the asynchronous, and the hybrid classrooms. But these different delivery systems have their own strengths and sometimes weaknesses as well. So that's why we try to complement your learning experiences here at the Asia Pacific University by using different learning environments so that you don't feel like you are all the time staring into the computer. I think at one time, a lot of us were just, you know, hooked to that screen. And I remember I myself, you know, sorry. Thank you. I suffered from all kinds of, you know, eye disorders and stuff like that. So, and not only that, physically, you know, when you are just hooked to one place, you know, so that's why these different learning environments provide you with some kind of flexibility and also some kind of different thinking processes, okay? So this is where we are coming to the key 21st century learning skills for digital learners. I think most of you are already born and bred in this digital world. I just recall, I think about 5 years or 10 years ago, I told my son, I say, hey, can you check out something for me and just look at the newspaper and check it out? He didn't even bother. He just took out his handphone and, you know, did something and then came back to me and said, Mom, yeah, it's this and that. I was like, So, you know, although this is an area that I profess in, but we were not born in that era, right? You were. So when you are born in this era, then there are some expectations from the students. And especially at APU, you know, you have heard Dr. Hari mentioning about what is the profile that we are building up, okay? Being employable is one of the profiles, but for you, probably those who are working, you are already employed somewhere. You want to go further up, you know, I mean, you just don't want to stay in one position after completing your master's or your doctorate and stuff like that. But going up the ladder comes with its own set of requirements. I think one or two of those requirements or a few of those requirements are what you see here. I think being that creative, critical, collaborative, and communicator, those thinking skills, creative and critical thinking skills, has to be developed further. I mean, if you were in the bachelor's program before this, what are some of those skills that are very, very important in this coming times that you are going to be engaged in the workplace? Yeah. And also, I think the communication skills, how do you communicate with one another, you know? How do you collaborate? For us, for me, if you come for an interview with us and you don't have those kind of skills, we can't take you, even though you might be the A-star student. Sorry. Because these skills are more important in a work environment than your content or your technical skills. So take that opportunity, since you might be self-sponsoring, you might be a sponsored student, no matter what. Yeah, money has been invested into your education. Make the full use of it. Yeah, and I think the other one before I pass over to Jonathan would be being a global citizen. This is a perfect environment for you to be a global citizen. Yeah, because you just have students from so many different countries. Try to pick up those cultures, those traditions. No doubt, it's nothing like going there, but you may eventually go visit one of your friends, and again, make use of that, and make use of the delivery systems that we are providing you, you know, and take a break. Go even sometimes, mid-semester or your weekends, you know, you can just take a flight out and go visit your friends and stuff like that. So I think these key skills are very important. And I think we are focusing on those 4 C's that you see there: the critical, creative, collaborative, and communication skills. So if you still feel that, and you will know, because in your classrooms, when some of your classmates start speaking, you will be listening to them. The minute you see them communicate, listen, you will be evaluating. I mean, I'm sure that process will happen. And for postgraduate studies, you are needed to talk, to provide ideas, and, you know, to come up with solutions, because you won't be fed. You know, I totally dislike this teaching philosophy of feeding content to students. I prefer that students take charge of the learning and come into the classroom or discussion forums to have a more animated discussion about things, so that your ideas will flow, you know, so that you know what you are talking about and stuff like that. Yeah. And of course, on top of all that, a quality character is very, very important. So what is that? I mean, quality is not just your physical looks, your dressing, yeah? It's how you carry yourself. It's how, you know, you promise and you say you deliver. You deliver on your promises. That is your integrity as a person. Very, very important. And I think this university, the founder of this university, Dato' Param, he comes with that huge passion about your integrity and building your character. In fact, over lunch, we were just having a discussion, Dr. Sheila, that, hey, can we have a Friday as a dress down day? And they said, no, that's a place that you must not even try to initiate a conversation because that the founder of this university is very particular about your building up your character. And he says that For him, it comes with the whole person, which I totally agree. Yeah. So try to build yourself up. This is a golden opportunity. You are in an environment where if you are full-time student, you have no worries. When I was as I told you, I was a part-time student. Why? Although I was full-time on campus for my master's at Syracuse University in New York, but I was working towards my, for my tuition. I didn't get any scholarship. I didn't have a lot of money. But what was important was I was also taking advantage of, being in the system and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think it is important for you to interact with as many people as possible. Come to the Digital Learning Hub, have a chat with us if you need to talk about things, and we will always be available and be willing to support you. Yeah. So those are some of the 21st century learning skills for you.
Thank you, Prof.
Yeah.
Thank you. Guys, I want to ask you a question. I'll ask you a series of questions, actually. We're going to start with a simple one. You just heard Prof. Apta talk to you about 21st century learning skills. And on your part, you've finished your degree, which I think is the basic requirements your parents would have had for you. And now you're embarking on postgraduate studies. Some of you are starting to read for your PhD. This question is mainly for those who are moving from degree to postgrad. Simple, huh? First question, very simple, yes, no answer. Do you think there is a difference between how you studied for your degree and how you're going to have to study for your master's? No? Okay, there's a no here.
Okay.
So it's the same.
We would love to hear from you.
Okay, how many of you think there will be a difference? Put your hands up. Okay. Okay, so the rest are no. Let's see the no's. How many of you say no? I know there's a one no here, 2, 3. Okay.
The no's are going to be the okay. The yes, of course, we know yes. Yeah, there is going to be a difference, and things will happen differently, and your studies will be. For me, as I said, I don't believe in feeding my students. That's it.
one of the main differences is that, as long as I think very much in your degree, you were given notes, you were given slides. In fact, some of you will ask the lecturer in class, sir, got tips. Okay, so much so that at one point in APU, tips became a 4-letter bad word. You're not supposed to mention tips. Okay? But at Masters, this is my next question to you. Second question, not as simple as yes, no, but everyone here might have a different answer. Looking at the image that you see, assuming that we go with the majority who said yes, there's going to be a difference in how you study. Which one of these do you think for you personally would be the most important skill as you embark on this postgraduate degree? This question, like I said, different people got different answers, right? So I'm going to pinpoint a few of you. Can we have the mic ready? Mic is ready. My friend in the pink shirt right in the middle. Yes, can we get the mic to him? What among this would be the most important skill in your eyes for you as you embark on this postgraduate studies? The others think, huh? Mike is coming to you. Tell me your name first, sir.
Hi, my name is Pardon. I'm from Djibouti, all country. The one that I want to choose is a creative thinker.
Creative thinker.
Yeah.
You think that will be really important for you?
Yeah.
Thank you. My friend in the red plaid shirt. Or the red checkered shirt. Yeah. Next is. Girls, Prof. Apta just whispered here, pick some of the girls. So be ready next, girls.
Hi.
Your name, sir?
Muhammad. Yes. My name is Muhammad. I am from Yemen.
From Yemen?
Yeah. I think thank.
Sorry?
That's my friend. Like my friend.
Like your friend. What did your friend say?
Thank.
Creative thinking. To be creative thinking, you must be different from your friend. Every time lecturer says something, cannot say like my friend. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, now I have to.
I will select. I will
Prof will
select
select somebody.
the lady in the pink top and the white scarf.
Ah,
Okay, my name is Afra.
hi, Afra.
And I would choose collaborator.
Nice. Why?
Mm,
Maybe
okay,
because when you collaborate and you work together, you learn better.
yeah, I think it's
Good. Good.
I
Can
think
we?
we can we hear from our gentleman here? He said that.
Oh yeah, let's hear from our gentleman who said no, it's going to be the same.
So let's see what you may have some interesting views.
I would say collaboration, because collaboration get the critical thinking, from my point of view, and communication and creative thinking all in one. So you can't collaborate with other one if you don't have communication, and you don't have critical thinking if you don't
Okay,
have collaboration.
very good answer actually. So you're saying collaboration starts everything, sparks off everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
really good.
The thing I want to also express my my views on that. Digital Learning Hub is all about that. What is it?
Our
motto.
tagline is collaborative transformation.
This is what the Digital Learning Hub stands for, collaborative transformation. For me, collaboration is so important because your views, you know, when somebody else is saying something, you start thinking. So it triggers your thinking process. So please, in your postgraduate studies, you know, because when you are online, you are digital, you need to collaborate. You need to bring your views out. Do that. Don't wait for the lecturer to keep on, you know, talking. Stop the lecturer, ask the right questions. And even when you ask a question, right, that will trigger some kind of a thinking process in your course mates. Yeah, so do that. Let's move on to the next one. Sorry, we have taken a bit of time here, but thank you very much. We've got one final one. Yeah, the time management is important there.
All right.
So the final one is about, you know, tips for embracing digital learning at APU. I'm not sure that whether the tips I'm going to share with you, I'm going to share just one tip with you on time management. But again, my time management tips were a bit different. My environment was different. Maybe this is for those who are in the working world. In case our other PhD students who are on board with us who are virtual, I set goals. As I told you, I was a part-time PhD student. I set a goal. Day one, I want to finish my PhD as a part-time student in 4 years. I set the goal and I pursued the goal like the world was going to end, you know. I was almost a zombie. If people say, hey, Aptar, let's go for the drink, I'll say, sorry, I got something. I've always had something that I have already planned. So I never gave in to any other activities that were not central to me pursuing my master's or my PhD. Even my master's, I finished it in the time that was given to me, and I was happy that I got I got an excellent grade for my master's program. But I think more of my PhD, it was more like I really set my time. I was working at University Malaya. Anyone? I mean, I'm sure you all know where University Malaya is. I was a lecturer and a PhD student there. I used to clock into my office by 6:30 a.m. because I was working. So I told you I was a working adult. 6:30 to 9 was my time for my PhD studies. 9 onwards is my time for the university. After that, I go back, I rest for a while, and then it's the rest of the night sometimes, not so much of the rest of the night. I used to clock out of my studies by about 1 or 2 a.m. But I pursued it. So I just want to share time management. Although this is digital learning, it does not matter whether you are in the digital world or non-digital world. You need to manage your time, especially at postgraduate level where you need to do a lot of your thinking and writing process. Writing is not the most easiest thing in the world, academic writing. So be very careful. You will have assignments to, to submit and chapters to write in your PhD and stuff like that. Be very passionate about your studies. You are here now. Take the necessary breaks when you need to, but I think the focus for the learning should be there in this. Since you are already here with us, we want to see successful students and students who can take themselves off, and in record times, so that you can then move on and study. And I mean, I did my PhD and then I did my postgrad, so that there are things that you would want to pursue in life and plan for those things. I think that's one thing I want to say.
Thank you, Prof.
Because
We
with
have,
the postgraduate students, yeah.
thank you, Prof. We have time to take one or two questions from you. Anybody's got any question related to digital learning at APU for your postgrad? We just want to know what time is tea break. Edison?
Yeah.
I think we're good to hand the session back to you. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you around. We'll hand you back to Edison.
All right. Okay, once again, thank you so much, Prof. Apta and Mr. Jonathan. Very insightful session indeed. If you guys have any questions for Prof. Apta or Mr. Jonathan, you can always reach out to them via email or Teams. Very convenient platforms for you to reach out to. All right. So for those of you who need to use the washroom or take a short break to stretch a little bit, feel free to do so. If you don't want to, you can stay in the hall for the next coming session. All right. So just to share with you a little bit before I move on to the next session, like what I mentioned earlier, in APU we do have a lot of different activities each year, and I realized that I did not mention that earlier. We have one of the biggest events that is always held in APU, and we're looking forward to have you here this year as well. It's called International Cultural Night, and I had the pleasure of hosting the 2019 one. It was phenomenal. I still talk about it every day, and I would say it's one of the biggest events that I've hosted through my journey as a MC. For the past few years, it's been really interesting. Crazy night, crazy crowd, and we had performances from different clubs, different societies. We had a great night of fashion show. We had a great night of performances, dances, singing, different talents, different clubs and societies, and a crazy after party afterwards. Of course, it's definitely a very, I would say, education-based after party, but nonetheless, it was really fun. So looking forward to have you join this one this year, and for the next session, it's quite important for most of you students as well. So for those of you taking a toilet break or taking a short rest, please do be back here. It's quite important, I would say, especially for international students. So just to fill in for a little bit, to share with you my experiences as a student in APU, I have not embarked on my journey in postgraduate, but as a degree student, I would say that my experiences as a student has been very fulfilling. All right, very fulfilling. In what sense? I would say interesting, whereby I got through my degree life. Studies are still studies, but it was the activities part that really, really, really helped me out in my 3 years of my degree life. So I'm being told that we might have an ICM video to show. Do we? Do we have an ICN video to show? All right, so to further illustrate what I was sharing earlier about the International Cultural Night, so here is a video for you from all of us at APU.
let me introduce to them.
Hi everyone, my name is Jacqueline. I'm the postgraduate administrator. If you have any issues that require clarification, do feel free to contact me through email, Teams, or meet me personally at the level 4 admin office. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jolie. Welcome to APU. Nice to meet all of you.
Hello and hi, I'm Fatia Hazwadi. You can contact me through email and also Teams if you have any problem during your postgraduate learning. Welcome to APU for the one that attending physical in campus, and please do enjoy either you attending physical or online. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes, these three ladies are the program administrators. Basically, they are the one who will be liaising with you. They were the one who will actually guide you throughout your journey in your postgraduate, whether you are doing your master's or you are doing your PhD program. So these people will be with you throughout your journey in APU. Okay, let me introduce what are the academic administration services. I'm sure you have gone through the various process and procedure in order for you to register in APU. Now you are a student of APU. I'm sure that when you register for your study or degree in APU, you will be assigned a counselor, e-counselor, a person who will actually guide you through from registration right up to orientation. Yeah. Now, in these sessions, it's actually administration is part of the integral process or system in APU. And besides liaising with your university lecturer, your modules lecturer, the most of your liaising or your interaction will be with the university is through the academic administration services. Okay. Okay, let me remove my mask. Okay. Now, first of all, is on the collection of student ID. I'm sure you would have your student ID by now for students who are physically in the campus. For students who are in your home country or in a various part in the world, don't have to worry. You'll be given, I'm sure you have given what you call a soft copy of ID. And this means that you are currently a student of APU. Yeah. And if you have the chance to come to APU, like my colleagues here in APU now, you can use the student ID, and this student ID is also act as the ID card where you can actually put in, top up your money into it, and you can use it at the convenience store, or even at the cafeteria, or even when you are you need to use the car park facility in APU. So it's a one card that you can use it anywhere in the campus, and it allows you to walking around or using the facilities. It's actually a cashless system in a way. Yeah. Now, if let's say you need any reference letter, okay, reference letter here refers to a letter that to confirm that you are a student of APU, whether is it for your employer, if let's say you are working, or is it for a scholarship, or sometimes if you, let's say you want to get a privilege of as a student, where certain airline will give a discount provided that you can show proof that you are a student. So this reference letter you can actually obtain through the administration. You can actually email or even get it through my colleagues here just now, either Jolie, Fatin, or Jacqueline, and they'll be happy to provide you a letter. Yeah. In case you need a letter of reference. Now, the admin services is also a place where eventually you can actually collect your certificate and transcript at the end of the program. Okay, for master's program is normally typically you can complete within a year or a year and 3 months, and for PhD probably you may complete within a 3 years period. Okay, depending on which program that you are enrolling. Okay, now attendance, if you have any issue in terms of attendance, don't have to worry because as a student, whether you are local or international, at the moment you have the option to actually tune in online, or you can actually attend your classes physically. Okay, but for whatever reason, if you are unable to attend your classes, don't have to worry. We can actually assist you and able to assist you whichever problem or any issue that you may encounter throughout your journey in the postgraduate. Yeah. Now, admin services is also a place where, in the event that if you are unable to pass a certain module, that you have to refer the module. Refer means that you have to receipt the module. This is also the place where we will assist you in terms of registration for the module in case that you have any problem in terms of submission or assignment. Yeah, during this pandemic period, all assignment submissions all through the Moodle, that means online submission. The good news, you don't have to actually hand in your hard copy assignment. All will be through the Moodle. Yeah. Some of you may wondering what is Moodle, but don't have to worry. Your lecturers later on they will actually brief you on what Moodle is all about. But it's actually a learning management portal that you can make use of. But in case that you are not able to submit your assignment on time or online, then we will be able to assist you. Okay. Likewise, admin services is also the group of people who will actually organize and process your graduation. Yeah, you join in today. If you are in a master program in a 1 year or 1 year 3 months or 1 year 6 months, you'll be completing. And we will also organize a graduation ceremony which you can attend. Yeah, the same group of people who actually welcome you today in this hall, they will also be able also assist you in terms of your graduation. Okay. So in a nutshell, it's actually a one-stop center where from this point onwards, from the graduation, from your orientation right up to graduation, the admin services team will be the central group of people who will actually provide guidance and assist you throughout your journey in APU. Yeah, as you can see the picture, we have about 60 over staff in the administration. There are people who will certain group of people who will handle the assessment. There are people who will handle your results, your requests, and so on. Yeah. Now I just refresh the people that you have met. Main person is Jolie. Then you have Fatin and you have Jacqueline. Okay. Now you can actually get in touch with them through Teams. Yes, very convenient. Teams allow you to actually, you can actually chat with them, or you can actually call them or even video them in terms of in Teams. Okay. Now, if you decide to write, you can do so as well. I will provide you with the a general email, which is the admin@apu. That will be displayed in my subsequent slide. In any particular issue or any problem, just look out for these 3 key persons. They will be there throughout your journey until your completion. Okay. Now, this is just to tell you that where you are currently, you start off your postgraduate journey. Of course, whatever you started today, you would like to gain a certain objective, which is to complete it successfully and graduate on time. Okay. Now, this is a journey as what earlier Prof. Aftar have mentioned to you. Being a postgraduate student, you may face certain challenges. Some of you may have an employer. Okay, some of you may be currently doing full-time, but wherever you are in any part of the world, I'm sure that there are a lot of challenges that you may face up to your graduation. Yeah. Now, first of all, will be the attendance issue. Okay, some of you may have challenges in terms of attending classes. Yeah, and this particular period of time, you have the option of attending face-to-face or even online. Or if you are not able to attend online, you can actually refresh, look back the recording. Okay, all lecture will be recorded, and you can actually replay it as and when you have the available time so that you can actually get back and also follow the lesson. Yeah, but you don't have to worry about attendance. If, however, if let's say you have difficulty in attending, you can always inform your lecturers, or if let's say you need to be away for a long period of time, then you get in touch with the admin staff, which I have mentioned earlier, is either Jolie or Jacqueline or even Fatin. Okay. Now number 2. Okay. As a postgraduate student, you may, of course, we hope that you can actually pass all your module in one sitting. But however, if let's say you have to refer a particular module, don't have to worry. We will actually advise you on when is the next receipt module so that you can actually recover the module and you can progress subsequently to the next semester. Okay. And if you have assignment submission or medical issue, I know this is currently is the pandemic period, you may have certain medical issue, or you may face with extenuating circumstances. Yeah, these extenuating circumstances means that you may have personal reason, for example, family commitment, or that you have to be away, no, and that may disrupt your progress. And what you do, how do you actually inform the university through what we call this extenuating circumstances application, which is in the app space. Have you all heard about app space? Yes, right. Okay, some of you are not familiar. App space basically is actually an application which you can actually download onto your mobile device, your handphone, that you can actually look for services, your timetable, your fee statement, a lot of information will be available in aspect, including informing the university in case you have any issue that relates to extenuating circumstances. And you'll be wondering, how does this extenuating circumstances affect you? Basically, it means that if let's say you are not able to hand in your assignment or take a particular assessment or unable to attend classes for a week or 2 weeks period, you can actually inform the university through the EC or extenuating circumstances application, and the university will consider and give you another chance for you to submit your assignment or take your assessment. Okay, so this facility is available to all students, but we need you to actually communicate with the university. Yeah, just don't keep quiet, because if you are quiet, if you are not informing us, we do not know how to assist you. Okay. Likewise, if you have result issues or even a deferment, please come forward so that we could assist you. Of course, these are what I'm just mentioned, are some of the challenges that you may face as a student. Okay. Nevertheless, I'm sure that you have gone through your degree program and you are able to actually take up the challenge, and hope that you all will graduate on time, yeah, eventually. Now, you may be wondering, how would you be assessed? Will I need to come to the exam hall in APU campus? The answer is no for the time being. So what we are actually using is what we call alternative assessment during this pandemic period. It means that you will be assessed through multiple channels, one of which is multiple choice question, that means MCQ. Yeah, MCQ means that there's a A, B, C, D. You select the best answer. Okay, that's one method. The other method is a take-home exam. So what's the difference between the normal exam and take-home exam? The difference is that take-home exam, you will be given a certain time. For example, your lecturers may post up the question at 11 o'clock in the morning, and you may actually have to hand in by 6 o'clock in the evening. Okay, so that's what it meant by take-home exam. Assignment, I'm sure you are very familiar with assignment, means that you have the assignment to do. There could be an individual assignment, there could be a group assignment that involve collaborative work. Okay, whether you are physically in a campus, or you may collaborate with your classmates who may be in different countries or even different time zone. Okay, that will not stop you from collaborate with other classmate in the same program. Now, the next one is the case study. You may also be assessed based on a certain case study that your lecturer may actually post it to you. And finally, there could be an online test and exam. This online test and exam will be normally between as short as 30 minutes to an hour. So you have to complete it all within the time base. Yeah. So which method applies to which module or subject, it all depends on the program learning outcome, and you will be notified accordingly by your lecturers, and as well as these will be posted up in the Moodle. Yeah. So as a student, the first thing you have to know on each module is that look at the types of assessment that you need to go through. What is the learning objective of the module, so that you are familiar when you are taking the program. Okay. Now, as a student, we always inform our student that if you have any issue, don't keep quiet. Always come to us for an answer. If you need to seek help, yeah, please come forward. And as I mentioned to you earlier, that app space is provided to all students. And in this app space, you can actually find out about university process, procedures, or even if you want to get general knowledge about what are the regulations pertaining to certain, for example, topic. We talk about attendance. What is the university policy regarding attendance? What's the university policy regarding dress code? All will be in the knowledge base in the aspect. You can actually key in the keywords and it will come out, and you can actually search for the relevant topic that's applicable. Yeah. Likewise, you can also use the frequently asked question. What are the questions that normally students will ask when they first join APU? Okay. So if you're not able to get a specific answer, and if you need to contact us, just remember one particular email, admin@apu, and this will be answered accordingly. Yeah. Why I say so? Because this email will create a ticket. Yeah. Create a ticket means that it's like a customer service. If you go to the bank, you write to the bank, it will channel to certain support staff who will actually answer your query. Okay. Now, if you are not able to get the satisfactory answer, or you need more detail, you can always team or escalate your issue to the Manager Academic Services, Payling, who will actually attend to your query. Yeah. Now, this is just a general information. In the app space also, you can actually check your timetable. Yeah, your timetable normally, your classes will be held between 8:30 right up to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and you can actually check your timetable based on your intake code. Yeah, or you will be assigned intake code. You need to know your intake code so that you can check your timetable. Okay. And your attendance is also be recorded by your lecturer. Each module lecturer will actually take attendance. And of course, as a student, international student, there's a requirement that you have to maintain a minimum of 80% attendance, because that is the regulations of the Immigration Department of Malaysia. Okay. And you can look at your attendance. All your attendance will also be recorded in the space. Result. Finally, you will also get your result. Your result also will be through the space. However, if you have any outstanding fee, your result may be delayed or withheld. If you have any problem in terms of fee payment, always come to us so that we can actually see what we can do in terms of structuring your fee payment accordingly. Okay. Interim transcript is also being displayed in the space. If you need to print your interim transcript, you can do so on your do-it-yourself basis. But if you need to be certified through copy, feel free to email to us and we will get it done for you. Okay. Now we are open. This is a general operating hours of a counter service. We have between 8 to 8 o'clock. Of course, these are during this period of time. We are open normal hour between 9 to 6. But if you want us to assist you even through online or any other services, we are happy to do so. Okay. With that, I wish all of you have a good journey. Hopefully all of you will graduate on time. If you need any assistance, feel free to come and ask us. Take care and wish you all the best. Thank you.
All right. Once again, thank you, Dr. Tay, for sharing with us. So I think Dr. Tay did come up with some really decent pointers about technology in APU, especially with like AP Space and so on. Right. So speaking of technology, over here in APU, we have different platforms to provide different forms of resources to you. For instance, Teams, your AP Space, like what Dr. Tay has mentioned earlier, library resources, and so on. So to start this off, let us invite Mr. Rasuddin to introduce the technology and infrastructure in this university. So just give a moment. Mr. Ras is getting ready. All right. So yes, just a little bit of Q&A before I pass this over to Mr. Ras. Have y'all downloaded your AP Space? Or does anyone have any issues with AP Space or understanding what it is so far? Or is everything okay? All right, everyone's looking very lost right now. It's okay. To further explain to you, I'll pass it over to Mr. Ras. Over to you.
Thank you. Attending this orientation is a partial journey of digital ecosystem, but to know how to use it effectively will balance your journey to digital ecosystem. Hi, my name is Rasuddin. I'm Technology Infrastructure and System Manager for APU. So I'm going to introduce you a digital services ecosystem together with my colleague that will talk about digital library and app space. Now, our role at Technology Services basically is to empower the digital and technology innovation. So we achieve this by providing two platforms for our students, basically. Now, first, we provide an innovative digital ecosystem, which consists of Moodle, AppSpace, Microsoft 365 ecosystem, and many more. In addition to that, we provide opportunity for our undergraduate students to join us as interns or even as technical assistant, basically, which they have opportunity to learn technical stuff and working with people that already in that industry. Now, first, let me introduce you your digital ID. We call it AppSpace. AppKey basically is a username and password that allow you to access various of our services, which include your app space, which my colleague, Ms. Nurul, will talk about that more details later. Then you can use the same username and password to access our Office 365, which include Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Office Online, Microsoft OneDrive, and many more. And of course, you can use the same credential to access our lab computers, physically and visually, which I will talk about that more details later. And you can use the same username and password to access our Wi-Fi on campus and various teaching learning, including our digital library and our helpdesk system, support system, and of course, many more. So how does it look like, basically? It consists of your username and password and your email sometimes. So this is how we look like, as you can see on the screen. Your username basically will be your student ID, whereby your email will be
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I am Nurul from Center of Technology and Innovation. We are the department who's in charge for the all systems under APU education groups. Today, I'm going to talk about EdSpace, your digital university companion. The pronunciation is EdSpace, not AP Space. Okay, first of all, I would like to say that when you have EdSpace installed in your mobile as a mobile app, you can just shake it if you have any problem and it'll open a help desk ticket for you. Okay, what is EdSpace? So as a student, you need to access all the resources for your studies, right? So EdSpace is our web and mobile student portal where we provide every single link in our EdSpace and you can search every single systems and services available. How to access? You can install in the mobile in your phone, or you can access from the web version. Log in using your app key. So what services are available in EdSpace? We have all the academic services. We also have all the schedules related to your studies, or even the schedules related to your life as a student. We also have important informations as well as your learning management inside the EdSpace. So first I'll cover the academic services. First of all, when you go to class, you want to take attendance. So inside the class, you can open your EdSpace. Then your lecturer will show a QR code and 3-digit code for your attendance. You can see inside EdSpace, there's a sign attendance. Click there. And then you just scan the QR code or key in the 3-digit number in the web version if you don't have the phone at a particular time. Then you also can see your attendance details. So in case your lecturers didn't mark correctly, you can contact back your lecturers. The next one is your results. In EdSpace, there's the results. Every time the academic admin release your results, you can see your results and you can also submit survey. We have two types of survey for your studies. One is the midterm survey, another one is end of module survey. Midterm survey normally open at week 7 of the semester. This is for your lecturers to improve the teaching and learning experience. Then end of semester survey is required to be filled up in order for you to assess your results. So you can also download your interim transcripts. And we have, you can see check your fees here. You show you the summary of all pending and outstanding fees. And we also have the fees details, which one has been paid and which one has not been paid yet. And for you to actually make an appointment with lecturers, we use a subsystem called iConsult. So you can search the staff directory, or you can actually go to timetable and select the particular lecturers. It will go to the staff profile. Then inside the staff profile, you can see the iConsult link. Click there, or you can chat with lecturers directly. Then book an appointment. Lecturers supposed to define their consultation hours inside iConsult. Then after that, we have extenuating circumstances, the one that which already mentioned by Dr. Tay. You can find that under e-forms in EdSpace. So it's under EC submission card. This is used when you are not able to submit assignment on time, or you are not able to attend the exam and so on. Okay, next is the scheduling informations. We have multiple schedules in EdSpace. We have a course schedule, we have the class schedules, we also have a exam schedule and even bus schedule. So when you are on campus, you need to come to the campus, you can refer to our bus schedule in EdSpace. Okay, what's happening in APU? Check out EdSpace. There's always a news. We also have push notifications beside our email, and we have important announcements, events or career talks. All is actually available in EdSpace. Okay, we always want to improve our services across the organization. So this feedback system is released so that you can give feedbacks, positive or negative feedback for us to improve further our services. So this feedback normally will be collected as anonymous. So, but if you choose not to be anonymous, you can set accordingly. So we have also a whole repository of knowledge base. So from Space, you just search knowledge, then it come out and you can go to the link of knowledge base and search for whatever keyword you want. So we also have our learning materials in Moodle. So you open Space, search for Moodle or material. Then you can, and it will direct you to the web version of Moodle. So in the Moodle, you can see the progress bar. So if your lecturers do activities for you to tick completion by activities, you can see progress bar in your Moodle. So Moodle also is accessible via mobile app. This mobile app not belong to APU, it's belong to Moodle. Moodle is an open source actually. What you need to do, you just need to put our Moodle URL, which is lms2.rp.edu.my. Then for the first time, you have to key in your app key. Then after that, it's actually the same information with the web version. Okay, in Moodle, you can see all your lecture notes. You can access your assignments. You can also do plagiarism check using the Turnitin plugins. And there's also online exams in Moodle. Okay, where to ask for help? Help is available at our Visual Help Center. You can open a space, just type help. You can click the link, it will go to our Visual Help Center. You can submit via there, or you can email us at assist@apu.edu.my. Thank you. I pass to the next presenter from the scheduling team.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Nurul. Greetings, everyone. My name is Gideon, and on behalf of the scheduling team, I'd like to welcome you all to APU. So now we are going to talk about your timetables. So how do you check your timetable? Before you know the how, we need to know how often to check the timetables. So at APU, you are required to check your timetables on a weekly basis because we publish the timetable every week. And in the event there are any changes or updates to your schedules, you will be able to tell them week to week. So we always encourage all students and lecturers to check their timetables on a weekly basis. Okay, and we use the Monday of each week as the reference point for your academic week. So for example, today is the 6th of December. So this week would be known as week of 6th December. And next week would be known as week 13th December, so on and so forth. Okay, so my colleague has just explained about the AppSpace app. And in the main page, you could click on more, and that will take you to a few sections. You need to go to the one called academic and enrollment. Okay, and under there, you click on timetable, or some versions say student timetable. Okay, it'll take you to a series of drop-down boxes like so. Okay, the first one you would need to choose is your intake code. So your program administrators will advise you what your intake code is. Okay, and then you can key it in and search for it. The second drop-down box is the week. So remember, they are sorted by the Monday, and you would need to choose the week which timetable you wish to view. Okay, the third one, it is only relevant if you have been told by your program leader or program administrator that you belong to a group other than G1. G1 is the default. So if you have not been told you belong to any other group, you can leave it as G1. It's fine. You'll be able to view your timetable. Okay, another important thing to note, when you're viewing your timetable is you see this hybrid and online classes. Okay. The difference between the two is basically if your class is marked as online or fully online, that means that you will be able to attend your class using Microsoft Teams. And if it is a hybrid class, you have the option of attending it via Microsoft Teams, or you can come to campus and attend the class physically. So that's the difference between the two. Another thing to note is this slider here that indicates whether you wish to view the timetable in a weekly format or a daily format. So in this example, the slider is turned off. So this is an example of a daily timetable. So for this particular intake, these are the Monday classes. Okay, let's look at an example where the slider is turned on. Okay, this is an example of a weekly format. So here you can see the entire week for in this example. So here it says it's 6 December. Okay, so this is just an example timetable. Huh? So today is orientation. You all had no classes today, for example. Okay, so your classes would start tomorrow. Okay, and that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Riaz Zaidi. I'm Manager Library Operation. Today I will take you a tour of a library and library resources. We are providing virtual support, as you know. So library website is full of information. A lot of students, I feel that they are not going to our resources, but most of our library resources are available online. So please try to use online resources. Operating hours. Monday to Friday, it's 8:30 to 6, and Sunday and public holiday, it's closed. Finding your resources, how you are going to find your resources, online resources. I'm talking about online resources. So this WorldCat Discovery Service, 6-7 months ago, we subscribed it. It's a very good tool for you to search your resources. It's a when you open your library page, go to library, and when you open your first library page, you will find this WorldCat Discovery. It's a single search on, so you can search all the databases. If you are looking for a one book and you are searching in WorldCat, it will search print book, it will search our all subscribed databases, it will search open access resources. So using this one, it saves you a lot of time. So you don't have to worry about it. Just go and search. It will search journals, it will search articles, it will search ebooks, it will search e-textbooks. So you can search from this tool using WorldCat Discovery. And when you are on the WorldCat Discovery, on the left side, there are a lot of options for you. If you're looking for journal, you can opt for journal, book, or something. So it's a very useful tool. Please try to use it. And Lean Library, we are advertising Lean Library. If you didn't download it, please download it. It's a web extension. Web extension means if you're looking anything on Google or Google Scholar or anywhere, and if that resource which you are looking is available in our resources, it will automatically take you to our resources. That means you don't have to pay for that book or journal or something when it's already available in our resources. So please download this Lean library and start using it. Whenever you are on Google or somewhere searching, it will guide you. APU databases, as you know, you can go e-resources, and under e-resources go to APU databases. We are subscribing 14 databases. Just now, we have a scribe APA also. So today, just today, I send an email. If you open now our library website, you will find another database. So whatever your subject is, we are dividing 14 databases according to your subject we are offering in APU. So every subject is covered under this APU database. And let's talk about ebook collection. We are subscribing EBSCOhost as our ebook collection. We have more than 200,000 books under EBSCOhost. So explore this one and you will find many books, though these books are 2 years, 3 years old, but these are for reference books. So a lot of these books are available under EBSCOhost. Open access resources, we try to accumulate all the e-resources and we put it under open access e-resources. There you can find the databases, e-books, journals, videos, tutorials, everything is under available open access resources. If you explore this one, and you can find every resource you're looking for. APQuest is also the same. It's an open access resource. You can find so many open access resources under APQuest. And now we have a APress, and we are updating it on daily basis. This is your FYPs, thesis, and everything is here. So you don't have to come to library for your thesis and looking for your colleagues' thesis or something. You can always go to APress, and there you can find all these resources there. Now your membership privileges. Library account. Through the app key, you can borrow the books, you can return the books, and you can reserve the books also. So you can reserve online. You don't have to come to library. You can reserve it online. Borrowing privileges. For the degree level, you can borrow 4 items. Master full-time, 10 items. And master part-time, 6 items you can borrow from library. Physical library, not your resources, open resources, or your open resources are good resources because you can download, you can share, you can do anything with it. So I always recommend the people to search for open access resources also, because these are, you can share with each other, even you can download full book. So these are the books you can borrow, and how long it's if there is a no sticker behind the book, it's called open access, the open stack. So you can borrow it for 7 days. If a yellow stack means you can borrow it for 3 days. Red tag, 1 day only. And green tag is for actually, these are for lecturers to borrow it. As I told you before that you can reserve your book online also. So this facility is available. Study and space facility. We have a discussion room where we have 8 discussion rooms for the capacity of 8 and 4 students. But now because of this coronavirus, we have only 8 becomes 4, 4 becomes 2. So you can divide it by less. If 8 means 4 student can book a bigger room. Quiet zone on behind on our library behind, we have this quiet zone where we are making that everybody remains quiet and give more attention towards study. Study area, here is it, you can discuss, now not 4% can, but 2% can discuss with each other and use this open area for discussion. Lounge area, as you know that when you enter the library, there's a lounge area. So this we created with comfy couches, bags, bean bags, just for you to relax. We are not we are allowing you to use your mobile phones, everything here without any restrictions. You can do that. We have a plugs also. You can recharge your gadgets there. This is a self-checkout, so you can also, if you feel that there are a lot of people there, on the red machine, you can check out the items you wanted to borrow. You can do it, and on the green, you can return the books without going to counter. And then we have student computers. We have 10 student computers. So, but please do not use it for any other purposes only. This is available for academic purpose. Grammarly check application on our G1, G2, G4 computer, we have installed a Grammarly application. So you can check your assignment there. It will do all the checking for you, spelling checking, grammar checking, everything. So help and support. So please, we are providing you support also if you are looking for any APA referencing style, Mendeley, and other tools, even the how to use our website. We are available. We can guide you. We can provide you a training for it. If you are asked, or your lecturers can ask us to arrange for whole class about the APA referencing style or whatever. If you are looking for any help, please directly contact us. We are available. Even if one person wanted to know anything, we will guide them. And for if you feel anything, please write to us on library help desk. These are my colleagues, Atia, Shamala, Azri, and Mr. Fahmy. So if you feel, you can write directly to us also. Thank you.
All right, once again, thank you. And yes, for those of you who still have any questions about your app space, your Microsoft Teams and so on, you can always reach out to them for more inquiries, all right? So like what I've spoken earlier before this, our journey in APU plays a huge role into shaping us into who we are in the next few years or so. So it is a journey that would take up a huge portion of your life. And if I may, I would safely say for the next 2, 3, and for some of you, the next 5 years as well. All right. So your journey at APU speaks volumes for itself, yes. But when you progress further into the working world after your postgraduate studies, or for some of you going back into the working world, there's so much more out there for you to explore, to look for, and to grow as well. So for most of you who are present here, either physically or virtually, you might ask, you seem so confident about it. How? So, for me to explain further to you, before that, I think it's vital for all of you to know how your life is as a student in APU. So to further illustrate to you your life in APU or your journey as a student in APU, let us welcome Mr. Ali to brief you on your journey as a student in APU. Right, so over to you, Mr. Ali.
Thank you so much, Edison. Hello, everyone. Very good afternoon. And I think for some of you who are joining us online, it may still be morning for you. And I think you've been hearing this from almost everyone. I see everyone very quiet, which I think I don't know whether it's the time of the day, because you have been listening and absorbing a lot of information which is coming to you. So I hope that so far you are able to get mostly of what has been given to you. I mean, that's what orientations are all about, to give you more information about your study journey, about how what resources will be available for you when you are joining this university life, and of course a lot of information which will be useful to you. So I think it's always good, and you can always get back to the respective departments. You can always come to us and talk to us, and we will be able to share. So if you somehow didn't catch anything, or something is something which is not very much relatable to you at this point, and a question comes to you later, you can always come to us, and we all are there to help. So I basically come from the same department which has been part of your welcome early in the morning. You have heard from my colleagues, Mr. Afshan, Mr. Asif, Ms. Regine, and few others who were part of the welcome, and they were talking about their own journeys, because some of them, they have also completed their own masters or their degrees with us. And at the same time, they were also able to relate some of the information of how the transition works when you are moving in from degree to masters. Of course, when you talk about at your level, it's very different, because some of you might have been working for some time, and now joining back university again is never easy. It's always very difficult, because you are coming in from living a different life. Again, when you talk about those who are directly joining, they might feel it something similar, but when the experience starts, they will see the change, because master is more about doing more research, looking into things, observing more, making more pointers, making more highlights of the things you are going and getting across, asking more questions, and being more independent in terms of the information and knowledge which you are getting. So I think it's a very, very different life when you're talking about masters and PG. And I think with all of you coming from all different sorts of backgrounds, I think you will get your share of knowledge, the way you are being built in, and the way you have approached this course. Again, specialisms and all that play also a very important role on how you are approaching a particular course. Yeah, again, so since I'm from student services, our role generally involves on almost everything which you are looking at right from the beginning. When your admission processes start, it's the same department which has been a part to help you in terms of your admission procedures when you started this journey, to look out for a university, to look out for the right course. And that is where we started with you, and we will be there with you all along the way. So my name is Muhammad Ali, and I'm from the same department, and I've been here with APU for almost 16 over years now. I joined as a student as well, and I think I can very well feel that what you guys will be thinking of when I think of my orientation many years ago. So I think that's something which is a continuous journey. And I think at the end of the day, we all are here to achieve something. We all are here to drive us forward, make the right choices, going into the right careers, and achieve the most important goals of our life, which we have set for ourselves. And I think that's what it's all about when you talk about a university life. So without further ado, I think I'll just talk a little bit about the campus life. I will talk about the role of student services, of how we help you all along in this important journey. Of course, for those of you who have been here, I think you may have been able to see a bit of the campus facilities, but I think there are a lot of your friends who are still not here. They are still watching us from their home, coming from different countries, and I think they have yet to experience, and you will be able to see more of that as well as we move on. So we are basically at this campus, which came in almost around a bit over 5 years ago. We used to operate in a different building, which still has become our design school, and we are still operating in that. But talking about this particular building, it's part of a central spine, which has buildings on both sides. And as you can see, during COVID times as well, we have been continuing with the construction. So if you would have taken a walk, for those of you especially who are here, you would have seen that still a lot of work is going on. So we have a central atrium space. We have a lot of spaces when it comes to the lifestyle experiences. We have a lot of these facilities which students can connect to. Of course, food and beverage facilities. We have sports and recreational facilities which are there as well. Some sports courts like futsal, netball, basketball, and all are there on campus. We also have on-campus accommodation. I think some of you, especially international students, some of you may be staying there, or some of you who may be planning to come in here soon will be looking at that as well. So a range of facilities. Just to share, especially with those who are online, we have a central atrium center point, which is a mix of a lot of activities, a center part of the campus, where we do have a lot of restaurants and different activities do take place from time to time. Luckily, we are now very much back to some life whereby we are able to do more activities. And I'm really hopeful that as we are moving into a new year, in another month's time, we will see more activities coming back to the campus, because campus life is always good when there are students around, and that's something which we all have been looking at the last one and a half year, and I think that's something which we all are looking at very positively. Of course, the campus also offers parking spaces for students who are driving. We do have covered parking within this building, the first two levels. One level is allocated for students, and the same way we do have parking across the road on the other side, which is also allocated for those students who are driving. Talking about the campuses, of course, we are in the main campus, which have almost all of our major faculties, except for our design school and some English language students, which are still on the other side of the campus, which is just roughly around 5 minutes from here. Of course, for those students who are new here, mostly international students, or even if you are coming from different states, or those who are available online, I think in terms of location, since we are based in Technology Park, and we are at a very good location. We are just 15 minutes or so from the city center, and we are very much close to all the major facilities which anyone can look at. Also very close to a local train station, which is around 5 minutes, where by university also provide shuttle service for those students. We are in one of the auditoriums now, which is our auditorium A, but again, we do have few more auditoriums available in the building, which you will be exploring as you will run through your classes, and a lot of activities will take place. You will see them. Of course, we have a cybersecurity talent zone, which is one of its kind facility, a very good option and facility for those students, especially who are coming to study here for cybersecurity courses, because APU is very strong on that, and we have one of the finest facility available for that. The very first building, if you are entering the university building, from the grand staircase, which is right in front, and if you see on your right, you will see the very first building, which is actually a postgraduate block. So it's actually a block which is mainly built for you guys. It's mainly built for students who are coming here for masters. So even though you are able to enjoy and some of your for some of the facilities, you may be looking at other parts of the campus as well. But specifically, when you talk about the academic side, and when you talk about most of your classes, or even the people who will be involved with you for different activities, most of them are located at the postgraduate block, which is also called as Block A. So that is where you will have that, and they have their own lounge and their own auditorium, and they have all the facilities which will actually help you in terms of your study and learning process. We also have a library which is situated on level 4. A lot of tech labs around for some of you who might be joining masters, whereby you need more labs. I think you can always look at that. Engineering labs, some green studio and design studio, which is from the other side, just to give you a very quick, rough idea of the facilities which we have available with us. Of course, bus terminals, which are located to help students who want to go to the LRT or respective accommodations as well. And then there are many other facilities as well. We also have a team of student ambassadors, which actually runs under student services. The idea is to actually help you. Some of you who may have come here for inquiry, a course inquiry earlier on, or some of you as an international student, when you would have arrived at this campus, you might have been in touch with one of the student ambassadors who will be able to help you in terms of showing you around the facilities and explain you and answer you a lot of your questions. And they are based at the level 3 at student services, where they will be able to actually help you with any information which you may look at, and they will be able to guide you on that. So if you look in a nutshell of student services, I think the major roles are more related to everything which is student centric, which almost comprise of almost everything. So you are talking about course guidance, you're talking about admission, something which you guys have already gone through. You have already spoken to your counselors and they have helped you upon reaching here. However, if there is certain part which is still not understandable or something which still have any questions, please feel free to ask any of my colleagues at level 3 and we will be able to help you. Communication and engagement, which comes as a very, very important part. Student welcome, which I have just explained, that how a team of student ambassadors, which are actually mostly current students, they will be able to actually help you and guide you on different processes. We also offer a lot of scholarships and loans. We do have merit scholarships. We work with different loan bodies. If you are part of any of those and you seek more information about that, again, please feel free to ask us and we will be able to help you. We have this thing called APU Abroad, which was also initiated by Student Services, whereby we do go to different parts of the world as part of a study experience, as part of the study tour, whereby students will be able to capture more information and more knowledge. And again, that's something which we will be able to help you with. Student visa is one of the important parts, especially when you talk about international students. You make sure that your student visa process is all complete. You must be making sure that everything is okay with the visa part. And if there is any questions or anything which you have related to that, please contact us, because when you are an international student in this country, you must make sure that you are looking at the deadlines or whatever timelines are being given to you in terms of the visa, and you are meeting them rightly, and you are following all the procedures and rules which are being set for the visas. And I think that's, again, something which is very, very important. We also offer university placement services, whereby we connect with a lot of other universities for students when they are looking into progression options. Okay, so we talked about international students. I thought it's very important that we talk about this a little bit more in detail, because like I said, it's something very, very important, and you really don't want to miss out anything on there. So you have to make sure that your medical screening is done within 7 days after your arrival. If it's not being done, please identify to us. Likewise, it's your responsibility as well as an international student to make sure that you are complying with all the rules and regulations. Please check on your medical insurance cards and everything and make sure you have all that, and your visa application is very well in order. So please do have a look at it when you are international students. For those of you who are still online and still planning, of course, when you come here, our team will be able to assist you. But in case you have any questions or anything, please do identify and we will be able to help. When you come to the university, I think apart from what you have chosen to study or the career options which you are looking at, one of the most important thing in this journey is that what you are capturing, what you are taking away from here. And that's one of the most important things. That is something which actually help us all to move along in our careers and our lives. And I think being a university here, which have students from almost 130 different countries, I think there is a lot to take. You can really transform yourself into a new person when you walk out from here. There are a lot of things which you can do, a lot of things which you may not have looked at before. Exposure, for example, exposure to a lot of cultures and a lot of perspectives. We do a lot of multicultural gatherings. We do a lot of activities. With things getting back to normal, you will see a lot of National Day celebrations, a lot of things which will help you to get to know more about different cultures and different countries, how it helps you in professional life. When you work one day with someone from a different country and you already have a friend from that country, it gives you a lot of knowledge about that nationality. It gives you a different perspective. You get to know how to go along with those persons because you have gathered that knowledge. So I think all these activities which will take place, and I will share some pictures with you as well, I think they really help you in terms of getting that exposure. I think exchange of idea is one very important thing. I'm sure I can relate this to a very simple example of Facebook. I think almost everyone here has a Facebook account, right? Please, please amaze me by saying that you don't have a Facebook here. I think everyone has, right? So when you talk about Facebook, how it started with an idea. There were 4 or 5 friends, classmates, sharing their ideas, their academic stuff and their notes and their stuff. And today, it's so big. Everyone uses it. We can't even think of a life without Facebook. Just imagine if you can't access your Facebook for 1 week or 2 weeks, how would you feel? So, you know, that's something, that is something which talks about exchange of ideas. You never know the people you are with now. One day, these people can be your potential partners. Someone who's sitting next to you might be your business partner for the next 15, 20 years or so. And you don't know that. And that is how the university life actually helps you. So having a great diversity of friends is always good. One day you are planning a trip to somewhere. I mean, I'm from the international office and I do travel a lot and I do go to a lot of countries. When I go there and when I post on my Facebook or when I tell my friends that I'm coming to that country, I see a lot of APU students. I see students whom I have met 5 years, 7 years, 8 years ago, and they come and we meet and we go for dinners and lunches and we spend good time and we share our experiences and we share our knowledge and stuff. And I think that's what you can take from the university life. Having a great diversity of friends, something which is very important. You can do a lot of networking, like I've talked about potential partners. You can make an international network out of it. So the world is becoming smaller and smaller with technology. So I think that is something which you have to see, that people who you are with today, the people you are moving on with today, these are the people who will make a lot of difference in what you will be doing and how you will be approaching your professional life going on. And I think that's very important. And of course, you can't rule out the importance of the social media, the connectivity, which actually helps all of us across. It has helped all of us during the last 1.5 years of pandemic. We have connected with each other. We have celebrated birthdays and even weddings and parties, you know, by being online. And I think that's something what social media has brought to us. So that also plays a very important role. But when you are looking at it from the professional perspective, I think that plays an even more important role. You can connect to people when you are connected socially, when you are more visible socially. And I think that's something which is very, very important, that you also keep a very close eye on that. And I will talk about LinkedIn shortly, and we will explore that, how it can actually help you to grow more on the professional aspect. Having cultural activities, of course, as I have explained before, that really gives you a lot of diversity. It gives you an exposure to a lot of cultures, a lot of communities. And that is something where, as a university, we have almost everything to offer. Having 130 different country students coming to us, having a range of so many activities which are happening throughout the year, I think that is the best platform you can get. When you are studying with so many different people from different cultures, it can actually help you to boost your friend network, to boost your connections and your network. And that is something which will actually help you moving forward. So please do actively participate in multicultural events, Independence Days and culture festivals, which will be happening on campus from time to time, because they will help you in terms of learning and getting more exposure. So some of the pictures from some of the recent events which we have held, I will say the World on Campus, whereby we have performances from all over. Not only that we celebrate national days and we do celebrate different activities, but at the same time, we also host a number of activities for different countries, whereby we showcase their cultures. And APU sponsor these events by helping those communities and those students to get and engage in them. So you can always find your communities, you can always find people from your own countries, and you can find and connect with your own communities, and you can be part of those events, because that will actually help you to get more acquainted with these people and at the same time get better exposure. At the end of the day, when you are joining a university, the most important objective for you remains to be creating your own story. So what could be someone's story? What is my story? What is your story? Anyone can relate to that? Do you know what is a story? What is your story? Anyone? Can anyone tell me what's your story? What do I mean when I say that you have to create your own story? So someone graduates, and after finishing his graduation, he joins the university for a master's. He finishes his master's, and then he go for work. Is it a good story? Do you think it's appealing? Is it? Is it something good? It is. Okay, how about I tell you a better story? How about I tell you that you finish your degree, but while you are finishing your degree or while you are doing your master's, you are getting more exposure, things which I have talked about. You talk about mixing along with people, getting different diversity of friends, involving yourself into different activities, engaging yourself into different workshops and different talk series which are happening on campus, joining different clubs and societies, maybe become part of APU Abroad program, go for a study tour to some place and explore that. When you get all these experiences will go into your profile. They will go into your resume. And then your resume will tell a story which will tell your future employer and the people you will be connected professionally with that who you are and what capabilities you hold. And that will become a better story. So if you are only looking at going to the university, finishing it and joining a job, then you are just reading books. You are just getting some information and you are getting some knowledge from the books, which you can do from home as well. Then it's not an experience, then it's not a story. The story is not complete. The story will get complete only when you will work for that story. You have to create it, you have to build it. You have to look into how you can create a better story for yourself. Because when you go for a job interview and there are 30, 40 people sitting there for a job interview, everyone will have a same story probably. If that's your story that you did your degree and masters and now you're looking for a job, 30 more people will tell you the same story. But how you can create a difference there? You can create a difference when you get with more exposure, when you can tell your employer that you are someone who's more of an all-rounder, who can do a lot of things. When you are more on the communication side, when you can engage with people, when you can relate to the exposure you have got to the university into your professional life. And that is something which is very important. So creating your own story remains to be one of the most important aspects. And that is what you should take from the university. Just remember what we discussed just a while ago when we were talking about changing your life and transforming yourself into a new person. The transformation can never be complete if you are just attending classes and lectures. That's not transformation. Transformation will only be complete when you look around you and try to seize all the opportunities which are available to you. That's when the story will be complete. And I think that should be your major objective as you move on, because you are joining a postgraduate program and after this, it's work all the way in most of the cases. So you should be very, very prepared for that. So APU has a lot of options to help you in creating that story. We all are here to help you creating and completing that story. Of course, not only exposure, but we also help you in going to different stages of competition. We participate in a lot of competitions. Our students have participated in recent times. Even during pandemic, it has not stopped them to participate, be competitive, and more importantly, have an ability to participate in a competition and then be competitive with other people. And I think that's something which is very, very important. And I think that's something which again is something, so whether you are at undergraduate level or you're at master's level, you should always be trying to find resources. You should be talking to your lecturers, you should be talking to your faculty and finding if there is any opportunity which you can go for. And you should try to achieve it. And we have so many achievements which we have done in recent times. And I think that's something which you should all do. Now, I was talking about LinkedIn a while ago. How many of you here has a LinkedIn profile? Okay, not bad. Okay, that's good. Okay, but I think at this point, at this level where you are, you probably need to have more. Almost, I will be more happy if I see, right now I see maybe 40 to 50% of the hands being raised. I would be more happy if it's 80 or 90%. Because LinkedIn, again, is a professional network, okay? So, I mean, I don't get any royalty fee to work for LinkedIn. They don't pay me anything. But what I really mean is that when you talk about LinkedIn, it actually helps you to connect people who are like-minded, people who are from the same industry as you are, and they will help you to connect, to strengthen your professional relationships and also learning the skills and also rating your skills, which will actually help your future employers and other people to look into that. And I think that's all about that. I've been talking about employers, I'm talking about exposure, I'm talking about connectivity. And I think that's something which is very, very important because the point of time where you are now, you have to really start looking at it very, very closely because that's something which will really play a very important role on what you will become today. So you got to start looking at what's lying ahead of you. You should ask yourself a question where I will be in 5 years' time. You are here now at APU. You are joining one of our postgraduate programs. But have you ever asked yourself a question where I will be in 5 years? Where I will be in 10 years? What I want to do? In my area, what do I want to achieve? What I want to become? I think that's something which is very important. And that is where, as part of student services, we also want to help because, again, as a university, we want you to be successful because that remains to be one of the most ingredients for us because we have to transform you. And I think that's very, very important. So always follow your dreams. Always look into what you want to achieve. Always think more, ask more questions while you are here and try to get more and more exposure because that's very, very important. And if you have any difficulties and any questions, please feel free to ask anyone. Everyone is here to help. All my colleagues from academics and from other departments, they all are here to help you. And even for those of you who are seeing us online, I think it's the same for you. You can always write questions. You can always ask us while we really look forward to have you very soon in Malaysia. Please feel free to ask these questions from us. So just for your information, for student services, if you have any questions or anything, we are located at level 3. Okay, it's right behind the reception area if you are coming from the grand staircase. Also very close to the PG block A, which will be your block. So in case there is anything, please feel free to ask us. I am, of course, one explaining all this for you. But we are a big team. I think you heard this in the morning that we are a team of around 60 to 70 different people helping you. So if there is anything, do identify, do highlight, and we will be able to help you. So I would like to wish you all the best with your careers, with whatever you are trying to achieve, whatever are your goals set in your life, the objectives you want to meet up. And I really, really wish all of you a very, very good journey with APU. And I really wish that you have a very, very successful stay here. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to me. And I will pass it back to Edison to take this forward. Thank you so much.
All right. Once again, thank you, Mr. Ali. Very fruitful session indeed. So, as Mr. Ali has mentioned, right, your journey after being in APU is really remarkable. So, we have quite a lot of alumni as well in APU that has gone out into different industries. So to further illustrate that to you, we would have a video of our alumni, Divya. So yes, over to you, Jerry.
Hi, my name is Vidin Dandevi. People also call me Divya. I'm from Mauritius and I joined APU in 2015, graduated in 2018 in actuarial studies, and completed my master's in data science and business analytics in 2019. My memorable experience at APU was when I was delivering my valedictorian speech during my bachelor degree time, and also when I won the first runner-up prize when we participated in the Data Challenge Hackathon organized by APU and Fusion X during my studies of Masters in Data Science and Business Analytics. During my degree time, I got the opportunity to volunteer as a library assistant as well as a student ambassador at APU. These opportunities did not only help us to manage our time management skills, as well as it gave us an opportunity to diversify our knowledge as well as our social life. APU made sure that with these opportunities, we not only learn to grow ourselves personally, but professionally as well. As said earlier, I participated in this Data Challenge Hackathon where we won the first runner-up prize. This competition did not only enhance our problem-solving skills as well as critical thinking abilities, but also it gave us an exposure what the outside world is expecting from us as graduates. APU has always been a mediator between education and corporate world, where it always ensures that as soon as we graduate, we secure a job. Today, I'm working as a business intelligence analyst at iPrice Group in Bangsar South, Kuala Lumpur, where iPrice is an online platform for shopping where users can actually get the best price of the products they are looking for. We, as BI analysts, we are supposed to monitor the performance of the business through our KPIs. We use data science and machine learning algorithms to build models in order to predict user purchase intent as well as predict the performance of our KPI. My life at APU has had both its good and hard times, where APU has not only taught us how to adapt, adjust among different nationalities and different students with different cultural backgrounds, but also has transformed us into professionals through its strict code of conduct as well as dress code. Having studied at APU has not only enhanced our problem-solving skill as well as critical thinking skills, but it always ensured that we have professionalism maintained, which is currently contributing highly in my daily job. I'm grateful to APU for all the knowledge shared as well as opportunities given, and I'm fortunate to have studied at APU and excelled through my years in that specific university. I'm Vidin Dandevi, class of 2018 and 2019, and this is my AP story.
All right, so like what Mr. Ali has mentioned earlier, create your own story. I'm pretty sure all of you here, online and physically, you have your own story to tell. All right, so moving on to the next part. I'm pretty sure when you guys sign up for your master's program and your postgraduate, you were briefed by your counselor on something about our dual degree program, dual master's degree program. So just a note from our counseling team as well, if you have or if you do want to sign up for that, this is the last week for you to sign up. But you may have a lot of questions about, hey, what is this dual degree thing, or what is this partnership program that we have spoken about? So to brief you further and to enhance your knowledge on this, we have Prof. Murali joining us today on stage to brief you on our dual degree program. So over to you, Prof. Murali.
Thank you. Thanks very much for your excellent emceeing as usual. I just want to make sure that I'm in the frame. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Welcome to Asia Pacific University. Congratulations, hearty congratulations to all of you for making the right decision. Yeah, I think it's a very crucial point in your respective lives of asking a fundamental question: is this the right move? of actually pursuing a postgraduate program, particularly in lieu of the ongoing pandemic, which never seems to be coming to a tail end. We thought that this year will be the tail end. Lo and behold, another variant. But it's so heartwarming to see some of you here today. The last round when we did this, I was talking to an auditorium that had 0 participants. So today, at least, you know, we have quite a few of here. So congratulations for being here. And thank you very much for actually being here. It gives us hope. It gives world a hope that, you know, life will soon, one day, hopefully, really soon, resume back to normalcy. My name is Prof. Murali Raman. I'm currently the director of all postgraduate programs at APU. So I take care of both the postgraduate technology as well as postgraduate for business. I'm actually stepping in for a colleague of mine, Prof. Andy Seddon. So Andy is not here. Andy is our key player with regards to our partnership with De Montfort University of the UK. He's also our senior director for quality assurance as well. So I'm stepping into Andy's shoes, but if you have any issues with quality assurance or the programs in general, please do contact me, murali@apu.edu.my. Just ask anyone where's the ball guy, they'll tell you. So welcome to Asia Pacific University once again. I'll be talking very briefly, probably about 12 to 13 minutes about partnership and quality at APU. You are joining one of the most diverse student population in Malaysia. I think Ali already talked about that. More than 12,000 students, 130 different countries. So this is basically United Nations of Education in Malaysia. Yeah. And as you go for your hybrid classes and so on, you will find that though many of them are not able to join us physically here, you will still be connected to the global community through the various online technologies that we have in store for you. So again, on that key point here, one of the key things that at APU we hope to integrate international and intercultural dimension, which we feel is one of the unique selling proposition of the university as a whole. Yeah. So let me quickly go on. A few questions they may be running in your mind now. How do I know I'm learning the right stuff? How do I know that we are getting a quality program? How do employers know that this is actually relevant to the field? Is this university recognized? Do they have reputable partners? These are some of the key questions that should be running in your mind. Even when I did my MBA a long time ago, in a land far away, sound like Star Wars, in a land far away called London, UK, at Imperial College. Yeah, it was Imperial, but the back of minds, key questions, same questions. Is this the right program for me? How strong is the Imperial MBA? That sort of stuff, yeah? So likewise, you're absolutely right in asking these right questions. And to answer these 4 questions, the 4 bullets you have there, there are 2 key things that we need to look at. Number 1, who are the partners of APU? And secondly, what is the extent of the quality assurance that we put you guys through or we put the programs through? So on that note, in terms of addressing the second point, which is how do we vouch for our quality? Yeah, it's not us saying that, yes, we have very good programs and these programs of superior quality. It's not us saying. So these are reputable ranking agencies out there that have been giving us these titles, yeah, for the past few years now. And you just saw Ali's presentations, a lot of the awards. The Dyson Award is an international award, and we've been winning that for 2 consecutive years. So we must be doing something correct. Right? So the students and their guide or their professors and their supervisors must be doing, the Dyson Award is a very premier award. Every other day, there'll be some student in the campus winning some prestigious award, which tells us that, yes, the external stakeholders are recognizing some of our programs, many of our programs, and are recognizing our students as well. Some of the recent accolades that we have, there are only 19 universities in the world, 19 universities in the world, yeah, that has been given the 5-star plus ranking in by QS, Corellis Simons ranking systems. And APU is very proud to be one of the 19 in the world. So they look at the different criteria, including infrastructure, access to technology, relevance of the program, employability, connection to stakeholders, external parties validating the programs that we have, our international partnership. So we rated one of the top 19 in the world. So again, that's a very powerful testament of Asia Pacific University. Yeah? Ali also talked about the different ranking that we have. In 2021, we've actually notched a few steps up, and this is only going to increase as we proceed in the future. As we move on to 2022, 2023, these numbers can only increase. And largely it's thanks to all of you. It's not just us. You need two hands to clap, right? They said it takes two to tango. So we can't tango without the students. And thank you for your support. And thank you for joining us. And together, the university can take and venture into greater heights. I think it's very important. Yeah. One of the key things that we are very proud of in terms of the international culturalization of our students is the Erasmus Friends project. I'll explain what the acronym Friends is shortly. So you can also plug and play even at the postgraduate level with the Erasmus Plus programs. So this is actually Friends stands for Furthering International Relations, Capacities and Intercultural Engagement to Nurture Cultural Diversity to Support Internationalization at Home. Mouthful. What are you saying, Professor? Basically, is a connection, is a bridge for APU to connect to the global community, which is a project sponsored by the European authorities as well. So we have a very strong position with the Erasmus group, yeah, and the Erasmus offering. So read more. I know there's been an information overload for all of you from 1:50 p.m. today. Again, you'll see me again talking to you in about 30-40 minutes from now. Then you go to your breakout rooms for more one-on-one sessions with your counselors. A lot of information, but just something to keep in mind is if you want to connect with the global community in Europe, especially through the Erasmus Plus, just do some search on this or come and talk to any one of us, yeah? Again, more about the Erasmus project, complements existing employability-led activities at APU. This is one thing that we're very particular. When the founder and CEO, Dato' Pramjit, often says, one of the key things that we're very proud about is for every student that walks out of the Asia Pacific University, employment is something that we regard very, very highly. We are highly sought after. In fact, I do get calls almost every other day from companies saying, do you have interns for us? And my answer is sadly no. Most of them already grabbed, yeah, by companies. So just to kind of tell you that in addition to the employability-led activities, we harness that aspect of your journey here, your story here, by encouraging you to work on intercultural programs, which is a key part. Again, the awareness and cultural diversity module under the Erasmus project. The URL is given there. You can find out a bit more in your free time, yeah? It's included in your transcript if you become part of the project. These are some of the perks that you get if you participate in the Erasmus Plus. Included in your transcript, taken as a European credit module transferred to Malaysian credit. So we work out on that credit transfer mechanism for all of you if you're interested in this. And also impress your future employers with your intercultural understanding. Because trust me, when you go out there amidst the thousands of CVs that get to the doorstep of an employer, they're going to ask you a fundamental question. How have you been different at APU? And that's when you say, see, in addition to all this, in addition to a CGPA of 3.999 or 4.0, hopefully you're all blessed with superior CGPAs. I was also part of this little project. They say, what project? Oh, Erasmus Plus. Oh, what is it about? You see, you're engaged in that discussion at that level. Huh? So try becoming what I call the purple cow. You know what's you've heard of the purple cow story? So if you drive a car past a field and you see cows grazing in this field every day, you just pass by, right? They're all normal cows grazing in this grass. So you just pass by, we just pass by, we just pass by, we just pass by, right? Imagine one day you're driving past the same very field and suddenly there's this purple cow. What do? Purple cow. My God, I'm going to stop and take a selfie with this cow. So therefore, this purple cow is an extraordinary cow. It's an outstanding animal. So as students of APU, our goal is to produce not purple cows, but the extraordinary students. And which is why, and how we do that, the methodology is quite straightforward. Through our external partnerships, through our external linkages, through our collaborative community with the Erasmus Plus project, to the De Montfort accreditation program as a dual award. So these are some of the plus points that you need to be thinking about. Again, how does this work? The mobility program is developed to allow up to three students per year to complete one semester and study at the University of Westminster in London. Certain favors are given in the form of flight and living expenses. Normally, it's the first semester of year 2 of your program. Some of you will go the second year a bit for your projects and so on. a credit studied at the University of Westminster will be transferred back to APU, and you're eligible based on certain criteria that you can find out a bit more through your academic counselors as well as you could talk to any one of us, yeah, for more details. So double your advantage. I think the master ceremony very correctly pointed out. I think when is the due date for them again? This week, yeah? So this week is for you to make that additional decision. Do I want a dual award? Golden opportunity for just an additional, you could talk again to the counselors to say that, okay, I want to sign up for this. What's the benefit of having a dual award? This award is awarded by University of De Montfort, UK, our partnership, which we are very happy and proud about. And it's been ongoing for the past 4 years with the DMU. DMU is based in Leicester. Progression agreements introduced in 2018. You can see some of the signing ceremony there in terms of the pictures. So again, it just adds additional qualification to your certs. Yeah, so something that you may want to think about, and you have a few more days to do that. And again, in terms of doubling your advantage, you look at the quality assurance for the dual award. It comes from a two-pronged approach or two-pronged quality assurance scheme. One is by the Malaysian Quality Agency, MQA, and the other one is from the QAA. So again, kind of justifies that the programs that we offer are highly backed and highly endorsed by reputable authorities. Jointly appointed external examiners from Malaysia, Asia, and UK and Europe. So again, if you sign up for the dual award, review of assessments, moderation of marking standards, application of joint regulations. So degree awarded under an approved collaboration in accordance of the QAA in UK. So again, the exam moderation process, the markings, just to ensure that we are doing things of a particular standard. Yeah. So for you to think about, if you need to more, again, talk to student services or career counselors. Even you can get in touch with the MCs for the correct avenue of doing that. Yeah. Or come and talk to me as well. No issues. Again, quality partner. Is it compulsory to travel to the UK? No, but opportunities may exist if your semesters align. So you can embark on the dual award without any actual requirement of going there. But if there are opportunities exist when the semesters cross, so that's an option as well. Again, key points in terms of doubling your advantage. What is the advantage of a dual degree? 2 qualifications, one from the UK and one from Malaysia. Again, the story about that outstanding thing that you talked about. Suddenly, amidst of all the CVs, you had a dual MBA or a dual Euro-Asia MBA. What is this about? Some story that you can actually tell there. And employers will, trust me, they will be pretty impressed. Working in partnerships is again, APU, DMU value the diversity of the student bodies as well. And they work on collaborative projects. Most of the time, internalization of the curriculum achieved through joint development and teamwork. So again, I think Ali talked a lot about that as well. So once again, this is a nice thing to have. The blue and the red scroll in a very nicely encaved casing to say, I did embark on the dual award. And I think that this has been the right choice that I made. Welcome to Asia Pacific University. God bless all of you with a very smooth journey. I'll come back and talk to you a bit more about the postgraduate program shortly. Thank you so much. Back to the, I'm looking at the side, but I wanted to see back to the MCs. Thanks.
All right. Once again, thank you, Prof. Murali. Amazing voice for radio, right? All right. So coming back to this, next we have, of course, oh, sorry, sir. Okay. Once again, thank you, Prof. Murali. Okay, it was a really fruitful session. I think you've heard from Prof. Murali on this already. But of course, I'm pretty sure you would love to engage with our partners from DMU in UK as well. So joining us today, we have Prof. Katie for the welcoming message. So over to you, Prof. Katie.
Hello, I'm Katie Normington. I'm the Vice Chancellor of De Montfort University in Leicester. And I'm really delighted that we are collaborating with APU and want to welcome you as students to our collaborative venture. So we have a very strong partnership between De Montfort, Leicester in England and APU. And we're really delighted that the students can benefit as a result of that collaboration. There's some very unique aspects to the arrangement that we have between APU and DMU. We're joined by some of the visions and missions that we have. So we both think that the importance of employability should be really key to student experience. We also undertake that our students and staff enter into a very professional way of studying. And it's very important that the balance of theory and practice leads to your qualifications. And these qualifications are programs which are benchmarked against quality and standards. It's also important to us that our programs and our students are from very diverse backgrounds, and that is a real marker of both of our institutions, both of the staff and of the students. It's important that we have an inclusive and collaborative study environment, and also offer, therefore, a very international type of curriculum. So really for students, I'd like to welcome you again, but also just offer you a few messages. So do please, of course, make sure you work hard, but enjoy your university experience as well. The time will go very quickly, and before too long, you'll be ready to take your first steps out into the world and be searching for your jobs. But enjoy the whole of your time here as well. University is important not just for the courses that you study, but also for the people that you meet, friendships that may last you the whole of your life, and other opportunities to take part in the whole of an experience of being a student. So I wish you all the best of luck with your studies and hope to see you at your graduations at convocation, where you receive your well-earned degrees. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Katie. And yes, coming back to this, I hope you have learned a bit more about your dual degree program, all right? So as what Prof. Murali has mentioned earlier, if you have any questions about your dual degree awards, please feel free to reach out to us, counselors. We'll be more than happy to assist you. All right. So coming back to this, I noticed that some of you are quite sleepy already. I get it. It's a rainy day. Everyone's a little bit more drowsy. And it's been a really long session, but bear with us. It'll be over very soon. All right. So coming back to this, I would say that mental health is a very huge thing that I advocate for, and I'm pretty sure our counselors here would as well. Because to us at APU, your mental health and emotional well-being is very important indeed, and something that we look heavily upon. So without further ado, let us invite our in-house counselors, Miss Cynthia and Miss Emily, to speak to you on your personal well-being. So over to you, Miss Cynthia and Miss Emily.
Thank you, Edison. Hello and welcome to our mental health orientation segment. I am Emily and this is Miss Cynthia Shoba. We are both licensed and registered counselor, mental health counselor. Miss Cynthia is also a psychology lecturer at APU. Today we want to share with you some information about mental health and psychotherapy counseling. We also want to share with you how we can be of help to you and where you can seek help at the university. For now, Cynthia will share with us what is mental health and also some examples of symptoms of or signs of mental health issues that you can look out for.
Thank you, Emily, for that wonderful introduction. A very good evening to everyone here. Okay, I'll start off with a basic definition of mental health. Mental health refers to the cognitive, behavior, and emotional well-being of a person. It's about how we think, feel, and behave. Our mind is connected with our feelings, and the outcome is the actions that we perform. So what are some symptoms of mental health that we can recognize? So as you can see here today, I've taken anxiety. Each one of us go through anxiety in a different way. It may be something that is serious that we experience, something that we are able to handle, or something that we need the help of a mental health counselor or professional. So here are some symptoms to recognize anxiety. So first will be avoidance. Avoiding in doing your daily routine and chores constantly, avoiding in meeting people, having to deal with situations. This happens continuously. Take note that these symptoms do not happen a day or two. They may prolong for at least 1 week or 2 weeks. Okay? Sometimes when we are going through certain stress or certain stressful events in our life, we tend to avoid doing certain things. But after we've completed those events, or after we have completed what we are supposed to do, that feeling of avoidance goes away. But if we are experiencing anxiety, it tends to go on for 1 week, 2 weeks. And sometimes it can even get difficult for us to handle. Insomnia, hard to fall asleep, hard to stay asleep, or cause you to wake up too early and not be able to get back to sleep for few weeks. When we have a lot of things on our mind, we tend to overthink. And when we overthink, it's difficult for us to have a restful sleep. So what happens? We tend to either wake up too early, or we go to bed and we lie down there without being able to fall asleep. But this, if we are going through anxiety, it goes on for a few weeks, and then we start to neglect our daily chores. Stomach issues, whether your stomach cramps strike every time you are taking a flight or before a big presentation, it could be a sign that you're so stressed, it's affecting your gut. Sometimes we have this when we have a deadline to reach, or when we have something important to do, or even a presentation that we are afraid of. But after when it's done, the feeling almost goes away. It's not there. But when we are experiencing anxiety, it's there. On and off, it's there, and it prolongs for a few weeks. Sweaty palms, especially we are overly stressed. And lastly, procrastination, constant loss of mood to do anything and keep on finding excuses not to deal with a certain problem or issue. We all tend to procrastinate at some point in our life, but this procrastination, like again I mentioned, it goes on. It causes us to lose our mood into something which used to be pleasurable for us, or something that is fun for us to do. So these are certain symptoms for us to recognize, whether we can monitor ourselves or someone we love, or even our family members. When they are going through the symptoms and you notice it for a week or two, and it gets worse, please do go and seek a professional mental health help. So now Emily will take us through what can you do to acquire good mental health.
Thank you, Cynthia. So you want to be able to take care of your mental health and emotional health by valuing yourself and treating yourself with kindness and respect, and building up your self-resilience. Taking care of your mental health could mean seeking professional help, support, and treatment, but it could also mean that you yourself are taking taking mental health and making simple changes in your lifestyle that will not cost you a fortune or take up a lot of your time. For example, some of the practical ways to maintain good mental health can be reading activities. This can make you feel productive because this is an activity that engages your senses of intellect. Picking a hobby that can help you forget your worries for a while and change your mood. Developing or practicing new skill can also help you further develop your own self-appreciation. A change of scene or change of pace simply by stepping away or taking a few minutes away from what you are doing sometimes can make a lot of difference, as a few minutes can be enough to distress you. Maintaining relationship that is good for you, forming relationship that affirms you, and a relationship that is nurturing. Engaging in a fulfilling and supportive relationships gives you validation. Regular exercises can boost your self-esteem and help your body to release chemical called endorphins. These endorphins trigger a positive feeling in the body. Regular exercises, physical activity increases your dopamine and serotonin levels and boosts your happy hormones. Get into the habit of eating a balanced diet, drinking plenty of fluid, and having a downtime so that you can have a reasonable amount of sleep. Don't neglect your daily grooming activities like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, shaving or combing your hair. Maintaining a good personal hygiene can boost your self-esteem, and this will allow for your self-confidence to lead you to have a good start to your day. Simply by doing something optimistic, you are already setting yourself in motion to feel better and to do better. So how can you get good mental health help? Self-stigma influences help-seeking attitudes among people when it comes to their mental health, and it is important that we encourage changing attitudes towards seeking help. We have to inculcate positive thinking about reaching out, and that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. If you are concerned for your mental health or of people that you care about, the first thing to do is to see a GP at a nearby clinic. Tell the GP about your concerns. For example, have you been feeling down, worrying about bad things all the time, having difficulty focusing and paying attention, having difficulties to sleep? Even though GPs are not mental health specialists, GPs are trained to recognize and provide medication to treat common mental illnesses such as depression and anxiety. And they can give you a referral to see a psychiatrist, a psychologist, or a counselor. Sometimes you may not know exactly what you need, and you are unsure of what someone can offer to help you. But early interventions is essential to your mental well-being. And the first step is letting someone know that you are struggling. So what can counseling do to help? How can we help you in counseling? The most essential benefits of counseling is in the safe, confidential space where you can explore your psychological and emotional issues without judgment. You will have a space to speak, to talk, to cry, to process your thoughts. The space provides you with the opportunity to look at your issue in a different way with someone who will respect you and your opinions. In counseling session, you are encouraged to share, and you will learn to get to know yourself better, understand and have insight about your strengths and limitations. You will learn to identify unhelpful thinking styles that have the potential to cause negative emotions and behaviors. Through counseling process, you can learn to understand better your relationships with other people. Shed light onto the way you interpret words and actions and appreciate other people's views. You will learn a number of coping strategies or dedicated techniques which you will find effective in problem solving and gaining independence and insightful perspective of your issues. Sometimes, although you may find that your problems may not go away, but you will find it easier to cope. You feel lighter and gain other perspective on how to navigate the difficulties that you are facing. So now Cynthia can share with us what counseling cannot do or what counseling is not about.
Thank you, Emily, for that wonderful information and insight. Okay, the basic golden rule is counseling is not an advice giving service. It's a supportive service that allows a student or a client to gain understanding of self by self-exploration of their emotional issues. Many of us take it the wrong way, that when we go and see a counselor will advise us. So the first thing that we need to understand is counseling is not advice. It's basically the counselor working with you to guide you in being able to cope with your issues. Most of the work comes from you. The counselor basically guides you and does some creative therapies with you to see what works best for you. What works best for you may not work for another person because we are all unique in our own way. Counseling is not an indulgence or a source of dependency. Yes, we go to a counselor to work out our issues, to learn ways to cope. But if every little thing we tend to fall back to the counselor, it will create dependency, which is not healthy. So keep in mind, counseling is not an outlet for dependency. Counseling is not just all talk and no action. Yes, it is known as talk therapy, but it's followed by with creative interventions. Counseling is not an instant solution. As counselors, we do not have magic wands, magic pills, or magic beans to give you to make all your problems go away within 24 hours. Counseling is not the magic answer to life's problems. It isn't a quick fix too. It's a therapeutic relationship where it requires responsibility and effort, mostly coming from the client. Lastly, counseling is not judgmental. It's a safe space for us to unwind, unload, and to work on our issues. We all have skeletons in the closet, and we face issues that is not common. So we build the trust with the counselor to work with our issues and teach us ways to cope healthily. And the most important thing as counselors, we do not diagnose. So what is the counseling service available at APU? We have e-counseling via video conferencing in Microsoft Teams, and we have face-to-face counseling. People often don't get the mental health service they need because they don't know where to start. And therefore, it's important for you to know that support is made available at APU, even when you're studying away from campus. The counseling service provided to the students is free of charge, and it's available on Mondays to Fridays from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. All appointments, whether for face-to-face or e-counseling, is arranged through booking of sessions via email. You may come in for a face-to-face counseling session if you're on campus, but with an appointment in advance. So as you can see here, you can either drop an email to Ms. Emily or myself, or get in touch with us via Microsoft Teams. If you really want to change, you can. It's not easy, it's not quick, but if you put your effort into seeking help and reaching out, you will definitely see a positive difference. We are here for you. The mental health counselors at APU are here to journey with you and have a wonderful and memorable university experience. So I leave you with this quote by the famous pop artist Demi Lovato. You don't have to struggle in silence. You can be unsilent. You can live well with a mental health condition as long as you open up to somebody about it. Instead, we should make it clear that getting help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. And we should ensure that people can get the treatment they need. Just as when we are not feeling well, we go and see a doctor. When we have a fever, when we have a flu. The same thing for mental health. When we are struggling with mental health issues, let's break the stigma, let's see a counselor, and let's work it out in a healthy coping way. Our doors are open for you students, virtually and physically. Take care and stay safe, and welcome to APU. Thank you.
Okay, once again, thank you, Miss Emily, Miss Cynthia. As what they have mentioned earlier, your mental health is very important indeed. And if you do face any issues, please do reach out to them. Or you cannot reach out to them, you can always reach out to us, your e-counselors as well. We will be more than happy to assist you. All right, so I do see some of you like fidgeting, and you know, some of you are a little bit drowsy and so on. If you need a toilet break, yes, we will be giving you a 10-minute toilet break, all right? For those of you who need to go to the washroom, if you're a bit too cold and you need to defrost a little bit, feel free to go to the washroom. Be back here in 10 minutes. And for those of you online, you can do the same as well. Be back here in 10 minutes, all right? See you in a bit. And just as a quick note, please do not leave this one, because we have an academic briefing for you after this. This is very important, your academic briefing. Right, so please settle in. And may ask for the students to be on, for those in the hall only. For the students on the right, if it's possible, to my right, your left, please, if it's possible for you to move to the middle. If there are spaces to fill up the front as well. So your briefing session will be easier, and everyone's slightly closer to each other. Of course, within the SOPs, yeah. And to those of you watching online, we're very sorry. Just a couple of seconds before we move into your academic briefing. And your PhD, this is the time for you to really dive into your academic knowledge. So without further ado, I will hand this session over to Prof. Murali and Dr. Lim. So over to you.
Thank you again, Edison. Dr. Lim, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's refreshing to see everybody in live.
Once again, good to see all of you. This is my second slot, as I mentioned. That not sure if you enjoyed the first slot, so you got no choice. Back for the second slot. My partner in crime is Dr. Lim's head of school for technology. So all of those, how many of you are in technology programs? Okay, a few of you. So he takes care of all the PG, Masters, and PhD technology. Yeah? So on my right here, she hasn't been officially introduced yet. Dr. Sheila, she's the head of postgraduate for business programs. Yeah, so the MBAs, EMBAs, Euro-Asia, EMBA, and other masters by research and so on. Dr. Sheila will be your go-to person. Yeah? She's just joined today. Let's give her a round of applause and welcome her as well to the APU family. So welcome to APU, both Dr. Sheila and students. So quickly, Dr. Lim and I usually tag team for this before you meet your program leaders. Yeah. So very quickly, the context. You probably know all this already because you've been given a lot of sessions from 1:50 p.m. today. Context of the graduate school, the leaders. I think that's important, and you may want to get your cameras out, your phones out to sort of take a picture of who your program leaders are, what their emails are in case you haven't met them already. Learning a new normal, point 3 and point 4 will be covered by Dr. Lim. Just a quick introduction to some of the technology, being in the technology domain. And last but not least, we shall adjourn to our respective designated rooms for an interactive forum with the program leaders. So without further ado, context of the graduate school. I think what we are very proud about are as follows, yeah, when you come to the graduate school at APU. Number one, a unique postgraduate identity. What do we mean by unique postgraduate identity? We are very proud to mention, as we mentioned, the standing out factor of our students. As you mentioned, the testament to that would be the numerous awards that we have won, the very high employability rate, the continuous accolades that we keep receiving from the external stakeholders and even accreditation agencies. So that is one thing they're very proud about. And also here, one of your program leaders, Dr. Buma, recently won an outstanding award at the international level. Yeah, so she will be, you can actually clap for her as well. I forget exactly the name of the award. We just want to shout it out for us. Women Scientist Award. So look at that. I mean, so you are in truly safe hands of some of the best of the people that we have employed, yeah, and continue to do so. And the other important thing for the postgraduate program is, be it in the technology side or on the business side, we try and sort of immerse you in both sides of the world. So for the MBAs and EMBAs, the communication programs, we try and inject and intersperse that with technology offering as well, including the DBA program. It's really infused with technology imperatives, and vice versa. For the technology side, we try at our level best to sort of expose students to the business side of applying technology. And even if it's not through the formal programs that we offer as part of your modules, but there are ample opportunities to plug and play into the wide array and variety of programs that we offer through webinars, entrepreneurship programs that we have to the enterprise teams. You just need to look out for events that happens on a very regular basis. And we connect the students to the business community, as you know. So some of the recent and future program initiatives, international collaborative research, as I mentioned, even through the Erasmus program earlier, enhanced student experience. I think that's something that we're very proud and we place a lot of emphasis on that. Your experience matters. So if there's something that is troubling you at any level, yeah, at any point of time, just write to any one of us, and normally your first point of contact probably be the program leaders if it's academic matters, and get in touch with the student services for any student services issues that you might have. And if at all some issues are not being resolved, then escalate it to Dr. Lim's level or my level, then we will look at how we can probably enhance your experience overall. Yeah. Collaboration with business, as I mentioned, program empowered by analytics and data driven. So I think the MS Data Science Business Analytics, one of the hot selling programs, still running very strong in the country. And again, for the second consecutive year, I believe we've been voted as the university with the best cyber security program, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we just had that again. So technology-infused programs, as I mentioned, and of course, ample opportunity to become part of the digital APU family, entrepreneurship residence program, conferences, webinar, industry talks, and so on. So just need to keep a lookout, yeah, as I mentioned. Your leaders, quick slides, that's me. My email is there. So if there's something that you really finding very hard to get through, just escalate it to me. Yeah, just, I'll be very happy to try and resolve any issues that you have as much as I can, as fast as I can, within my ability. Yeah. Currently the Director of Postgraduate and Continuous Education. So in my capacity, I oversee both the tech and the business side of the programs, working closely with the two heads, as you know. And enough about me. So Dr. Lim, back over to you.
Thank you, Prof. Murali. We are very excited for the new head for Graduate School of Business, Dr. Sheila, and the university's graduate program has grown tremendously over this year. In fact, our student body has doubled from last year, much to the leadership of Prof. Murali and the academic staff. So I believe you will be in great hands. We have a very diverse group of student body. Just this intake alone, we have over 20 countries represented. So every 5 students, you will see a student from a different country, statistically speaking. My interest surrounds numbers. So I work with mathematical objects for machine learning, deep learning. So Prof and I, we are a tag team. He is a very qualitative person, very humanistic, whereas I would provide 1 or 2 numbers to work with him. So welcome to APU. And my email is there. If you feel like there are things you want to get done and it's not getting through, please feel free to write to us. On a good day, you may get a response from me in 5 minutes. So don't be surprised on that. Okay, back to you, Prof.
Most days are good days for him. Thanks, Dr. Lim. So to quickly introduce you to your program leaders, you will be meeting them from time to time. An outstanding person that we have, program leader for data science, business analytics, software engineering, Dr. Imran Mehdi. He's, I think, not able to join, fortunately, because he's running a class at this moment as you speak. So Dr. Imran extends his wishes, and he's the go-to person if you are taking any of these programs, yeah. And very, very humble, although very qualified, and speaks very, very articulately, yeah. So good person to keep in touch with. So that's Dr. Imran for you. Dr. Boomer, you want to say a few words, say hi to them? Yeah, you can come. Just you keep it informal. No worries.
Hello, I'm Dr. Buma, program leader for artificial intelligence and research programs as well. So I welcome you on board. I wish all you success and yes, welcome on board. So I also wish you to utilize your opportunity in APU, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. So that's Dr. Puma's email there. So if you are doing any one of the programs under her care, so get in touch with her. Next, we have Dr. Veera. He's not here. He's probably joining us online. Dr. Veera Kumar, program leader for information technology management, project management. That's his email there. So you could just take his email if it's of concern to you. Dr. Vinesha, I believe she's joining online. Dr. Vinesha, welcome if you are online.
I think she has a class.
She may have a class as well. So again, if you are doing cybersecurity, that's her email that you want to have and keep close to your heart, yeah? So again, a very approachable person. If you are doing masters by research or PhD for management, so this is Dr. Ho Min Kang or Dr. Ryan, as we call him, more lovingly, I guess, Dr. Ryan. That's his email. So any issues with masters, theses, PhD theses for business management, Dr. Ryan is the go-to person. Rosie will be joining us in the breakout room. Rohizan, she takes care of marketing and business and communications. That's Rosie's email. And she will actually be talking to those who are pursuing the program shortly as we venture into the 4th floor. I think it's 407 later. The marshals will escort you to the room for your up close and personal with the program leaders, yeah? As soon as I'm done. Aneda, she is also a newly minted program leader. She takes care of the MBA and EMBA. I believe Anita is joining us online. Anita, if you're online. Hi, Anita. She will be talking to us as well and when she joins us online after this in the breakout session. So Anita takes care of MBA and Euro-Asia MBA. Vigneswaran, I think he has a class as we speak as well. So he's program leader for finance and accounting. That's Vignes's email. So those of you who are looking at the accounting or the finance program, so that's an email that you want to keep close to your desk. Yeah. I always talk about, so you're not doing app space and all that, yeah? No. You want to talk about that?
It's okay. I think they have done the app space.
Yeah,
We can
okay,
go.
that's fine.
Go ahead.
So I think before we break out and meet your heads and program leaders up close and personal, just remember, and something that resonates with what the student counselors talk to you about, remember you're embarking on a postgraduate program. The next 12 to 14 months is going to be pretty intense. Let's be honest, yeah? Let's not kid ourselves. You've embarked on this and you need to be ready for this. So if I reflect, if I could, the song 21 Pilots, if I could turn back time to the good old days, when I did my MBA, I remember I was totally stressed out. Classes after classes, assignments after assignments, you need to remain sane, right? Sanity counts. So what's my secret? That's when I picked up a book a long time ago called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I think now it's the 8th habit by Stephen Covey, and this is from Franklin Covey Institute. It talks about, like many other, thought philosophers have talked about, looking at things in a holistic way. So body, mind, heart, and soul. So never forget, to me, it's very important to keep a healthy body. Healthy body sharpens your mind, and minds that sharp, it produces good heart. You have someone that cares, someone that's empathetic, and that nourishes your soul. So they're all connected. So ensure that apart from your very busy schedule, take breaks, take breathers, enjoy life a bit. Those of you who are first time in Malaysia, yeah, follow the SOPs and still venture out if possible over the weekends if you don't have any classes. Mingle, make friends, get to know one another well, and yeah, so eat healthy. Eat healthy, eat early, sleep well, get your rest. Yeah, I think it's very important. And whenever you feel stressed, talk to someone about it. Talk to your academic PLs about it. They're very caring people. Or come and talk to me about it. especially if you're writing your MBA thesis and so on and you're not making progress, just come and have a chat. Prof, are you free for a cup of tea or coffee? Yeah, just let's hang out at the center point and just chit chat. Because I think it's important to ensure that your journey is very memorable at the university, and we would like it to be memorable. And we are not saying this because you're here. We are saying this because we mean it, and I think we do mean it. The mind, read, write, think, participate in different activities. And I think for the soul is very, very important to keep that sanity. And if, like for me, things like prayer, meditation helps a lot, helped me to manage my stress levels even when I did my PhD. Yeah, that's about it. So holistic living, anything to add from a mathematical perspective?
Yeah, I think for some of you, they may have left school for a while. The good news is there's a lot of new information that has come in, right? Especially I can still remember the amount of things I got to learn after getting a PhD. I think with the information age, knowledge has escalated or exponentially. So I would encourage you to have a balanced approach in terms of the studying for your studies, right? There is intense period of working on your material. There's also time to exercise, lots of food in Malaysia. I think Malaysia offers food 24 hours a day. And food is an integral part of our culture, right? Because we have Chinese, Indians, Malays, and a lot of international students among us. So I encourage you to explore. At the same time, be mindful that information is growing at an exponential rate. We can't learn everything, and we definitely need to pick and choose what sort of information we want to absorb. Right? Back to you, Prof.
Thank you. Last but not least, just to quote a very famous singer, John Lennon, in the song Imagine, it says, "Imagine all the people living life in dreams. You may say I'm a dreamer. I'm not the only one. Dream big, because dreams do come true." Yeah. And together, let's make this a possibility for you. Your journey must be smooth. And if your journey is smooth, it's a true reflection of our lives being more meaningful at this university. Yeah. If your journey is troubled, full of sorrows, one or more of us are not doing our jobs. Okay. So let's work behind this together as a team. Do reach out to us for any help, any point of time. And we are happy to assist to the best of our ability. All the best. Good luck to you. God bless all of you with 4.0 CGPAs, each and every one of you, if possible. You do your part, we'll do ours. And before we break out to the breakout rooms, let me hand it back over. Thank you, Dr. Lim. Thank you, Dr. Sheila. Thank you, Dr. Buma. And thank you, the PLs who are online with us. Thank you, Vice Chancellor Dr. Hari, for joining us. Over to you, Edson.
Thank you, Dr. Murali.
Do we leave now?
I'm sorry?
Do we, the both of us, leave now, or you need us?
Do you have rooms to go to after this?
Yeah, he's telling us leave.
Thank
you. No, thanks.
Right, once again, thank you so much, Prof. Murali and Dr. Lim as well. Really interesting session indeed. So next session would be your academic briefing by your leaders. So for those of you who are new to this and you do not know how to use Microsoft Teams, this applies to all of you online as well. First of all, click on the Teams button to your top left corner on your PC. And if you're on mobile or if you're viewing it on a tablet device, it should be the fourth tab from the bottom, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Right? So for those of you who are on your laptops and your PCs, first of all, click on the Teams button to your top left corner. Click on Join a Team. Right? So once you get to the room, or when you bro, previous slide. Right. Once you get into the specific room, you can see a button that says Join Teams with a code. All right? Very simple. If you don't know what your code is, it's okay. We will show you in just a few seconds. All right? So click on Join a Team with a code. Right, next one, please. Thank you. So for the codes that we would show you after this, please do key in on that specific part or that blank space that says key in your code here. right? So you can just put it in and click on Join Teams, all right? So for those of you who are in the Graduate School of Technology, please remain in this room. So how many of you are doing technology in this hall? Under the School of Technology. All right. So for those of you who are doing this, please remain in this hall, this auditorium. And next one would be the School of for the School of Technology for Masters and PhD as well. Please remain in this room. Next one, Ryan. And for those of you who are in the School of Business, all right. For those of you online, please use the Teams code G37JZ9J. All right, I'll repeat one more time for the process that I've mentioned earlier. So G37JZ9J, okay? And for those of you who are physically present, please follow our student ambassador here. All right, so your classroom will be at B47. So level 4, classroom number 7, okay? So before we dismiss everyone, is there any questions that you all have for anyone in this hall? Okay, for those of you who are under the Graduate School of Business, you may follow Justin over here. Justin, come back, huh? School of Computing.
That I will respond in within 24 hours, right? Am I audible enough to you all? I'm not sure. All right, fine. So yeah, here you're in the artificial intelligence module. I don't want to share much about artificial intelligence because we all know we are moving towards artificial intelligence where we are trying to do some mimic as human. That's what artificial intelligence is. So here in APU, we are providing you all the necessary module to just complete the process. Like you can try your best, level best to, mimic the system like human. So we are starting with our introduction to artificial intelligence module, which gives you an idea about artificial intelligence. And then we are taking you with the module of applied machine learning, where you can explore about all the data science algorithms. So with the help of the algorithms, we are also driving to image processing and computer vision. So you will get an idea towards how to process the image, how you can handle the image, how to just, do some computer vision, right? So it's not about the machine vision, it's about the computer vision. So we are also providing this module with you. And continuing with this knowledge, you can jump into deep learning module, which is something advanced where you can handle big data, because now we have started using unstructured data and huge volume of data. So this deep learning module will guide you how to handle the unstructured data as well as how to handle big data. All right. So this program is also giving you a joint certification with TIPCO if you complete 3 modules, right? So this is mainly based on the deep learning, artificial intelligence, and applied machine learning, right? So yeah, that's about our program. All the best. Once again, I would like to extend my warmest welcome to you all on your new beginning. Let it be very interesting for you, and let it bring new challenges, bring new discoveries, knowledges with great success. Okay. I wish also let your journey at APU be the brightest part of your life. Welcome on board.
Thank you, Dr. Boma. Allow me to share with you the ecosystem, the learning ecosystem we are in for APU. Right, there are 2 primary platforms, Moodle and Microsoft Teams. Moodle is our learning management system, where you will find the learning resource, the notes, where you will submit your assignment. The other platform for Teams, that's where we will conduct our classes in a synchronous manner, the chats, the Teams discussions. Take note that all assignments and exam will be conducted over Moodle. So there is a time constraint element there, be it a date or a time you must submit. Moodle will not accept late submission. If you're 1 second late, it's considered they will reject your submission. All right. So that is our learning ecosystem. Next is that we are connected very much via our app space. I hope you have an opportunity to download the app already. Don't come to APU without it. Sometimes I don't even know what's happening until I look at the app space. Okay, if you take a bus, there's a bus schedule there. Your app card, you need to store up your credit because the cafeteria doesn't take cash. So it's like a whole colony of its own, the APU colony. And to survive in this colony, you need the app space and the app card. So don't come to APU without it, right? There are many functions in the app space. It's developed by our Center for Technology Innovation. It's a in-house developed software, and we're extremely proud that our students' work is the integral creation of this app. In there, you'll find many functions, getting the staff directory, finding about your timetable, bus schedule, resources that tie to the library, to Moodle. Please access that app and explore. There's just a lot of functions there. Okay. Next is a bit about our academic regulations. Right now, our program is a dual. Most of our program, in fact, all of our programs, other than the distance learning programs, they are a joint certification with De Montfort University. So unlike some of the local universities where they may process the results within a month, for us, to process the results, it could take about 2 to 3 months because it will have to send to UK for their review, and they may send for external examiner to look at the results again. So it is a very rigorous process in terms of the assessments as well as the marks, because not only has to go through APU quality assurance process, it also has to go through UK quality assurance process, right? So be patient with us. There is a first marker. There was also a moderation of your result by a second marker. I've talked about the course materials already. They are readily available in Moodle. We have conducted these programs for many years. The materials are constantly refreshed, reviewed for their relevance. But rest assured, we are very confident the material should be readily available for you to read up and get a peek of what's coming up in your next lecture. The third item is external waiting circumstances, right? Suppose you have internet connectivity issues and you can't submit on time. Please fill in this EC form in your app space and make sure you know that button so that you will not be penalized for your submission, right? Attendance, again, let the lecturers know that you have attended your sessions if you are missed in your attendance record when you call your name. Now, this is especially important for international students, as we have close to 50% of you in the student body that are from international non-Malaysian. So you need to take note of that visa regulations for your studies, especially countries that requires attestation of award. For example, China, you need to make sure that you complete your studies with a valid student visa. Okay, I repeat, for those countries that require attestation of your award, you need to take note to complete your studies within the validity of your student visa. Okay. Now, how do you ensure that? Make sure you complete the required modules, pass them every semester. If you need to take an extension, ensure you are in good standing, at least a grade point or 3.0, and you're making good progress in your research projects, right? Attendance, I'm sorry. You need to ensure that you have good attendance, right? Academic regulations, okay? For every module, you have 3 attempts to pass it. The first attempt, none of your marks will be kept. In the second and third attempt, all your marks will be kept at a maximum of 50, right? 50 is the passing mark. For the second attempt, you only have to attempt the component that you fail, right? However, if you fail the second attempt, the third attempt, you have to resubmit all the components, even the ones that you passed earlier, okay? Now, after the 3 attempts, you are no longer allowed to take the module again unless you are given special approval by the Quality Assurance Board, okay? In terms of passing the component, there's a new regulation in place for your intake. You must score at least 20% or 20 marks out of 100 for each of your components to consider them a pass, right? So in other words, if you have a presentation component, you can't just skip the presentation component even though you score 100 marks on the other components, okay? Right? So, but all these regulations are in your Moodle site that you can refer to policies and handbooks, right? This is the space where you can find your Moodle course material. There is also a knowledge base where you can retrieve all the information that I shared with you just now. Okay, regulations and policy, that's another keyword, right, on the stuff that I mentioned about passing the module with 3 attempts. Okay, just a quick sharing, and you are free to ask questions online. I hope I'm receiving the questions online if there are any, all right? Allow me to share the good news of joining the Tech Masters. I can't really say this before the business clusters, right? Well, the job market for tech-based degree have grown tremendously, especially during the COVID pandemic. There's a greater investment into network capacity, infrastructure. So there's a greater reliance on information technology, especially where people work from home, business transactions are carried out online. There's just a lot more activity. With volume, it comes demand, and we need to supply the expertise to those demand. So that's the good news. Whether you are in Malaysia or in the countries that you're from, Namibia, Pakistan, Indonesia, Iran, Bangladesh, India, Malawi, Kenya, just to name a few, right? I'm sure they are growing as well. The next tip I want to share with you is industry relevance. As you can see, we have 100% employability, which APU is very proud of. Huh? You are in a 1-year master's program, okay? Now, allow me to share this quote with you. Your data does not yield information without interpretation. Interpretation does not yield meaning without imagination. So what does that exactly mean? You have got to know the nuance of the industry that you want to work in. Be it hotel industry, you're going to design software for hotel industry, you want to design systems for hotel industry or airline industry, transportation industry. You got to know what that industry needs. Each industry has a different pulse of business. Okay, like education is a certain type of business. We have a different tempo. If you play football, you know rhythm is very important, right? The rhythm of the game. Yeah, you don't want to be attacking when you're not ready to attack. Yeah, so same thing in all business, in human activity, there is a rhythm to the things how things are done. So IT alone cannot stand alone because it's just data, right? if you want to translate to meaningful information, you got to know the nuance of the industry you want to work in. So I would encourage you to start your career exploration on day one. Look at the industry you want to join. Look at the IT or computing requirement of that industry, and start now looking at potential problems you can solve. Your employability very much depends on what type of problems you can solve. All right. Okay, that's my sharing on the employability. Next bit is on multicultural, right? We are a very diverse campus. In fact, a few years back, a Malaysian is actually a minority on campus. All right. So now we are very glad that Malaysians have caught up with the numbers. We have grown over 100% from last year. Okay. So our new students intake is 100% more than last year. The total number of students in the PG Graduate School of Study is close to 500 strong, thanks to your participation. Okay. Well, at least I still got a job. So moving forward, right? We believe we will stretch your imagination, and it goes in line with our slogan for Reimagine 4.0. Okay. Now I just pass the time to Dr. Buma if she's anything to add.
That's.
Okay. Okay, maybe I should open the floor for you to ask questions. Please, your turn. Anybody from online teams? Can we see the questions in online or no? No, I can't. Okay. Any questions from you? It's been a long day, I know. Anything you wish to ask?
Too tiring day. Is it so?
Sorry?
I don't know. Anything? Because I'm not waiting for them to ask anything. They have nothing to ask. So how shall we proceed?
You can pass it back to me.
Okay, I'll pass it back to you then.
All right. Once again, thank you so much. And for those of you who are watching online right now, this marks the end of our session. And for those of you who are physically here as well, this marks the end of our Masters Orientation. So give yourself a warm round of applause. Yeah. Everyone's very tired at this point, I can tell. All right, so wait, I have just been told that there are questions from online. Is it? Very sorry. Just give us a moment.
Maybe you can just give me the... Okay. How is the structure for PhD Tech while taking the research module? All right. Okay, our research programs is centered around the students' research projects. So while you are taking the research module, in this case is the research methodology for computing and engineering, you will speak with your supervisor, and he or she will direct your research topic and literature review, right? So the first phase is fairly straightforward. You just have to read up a lot on your literature to identify the problems you want to solve in your project. Okay, that is the first phase. And then you will compile the literature review and then look at the required methodology to solve them. You got to select your research questions wisely. Okay. All right. So that covers your this question. I hope I answer it. If I don't answer that, you can ask another question. Okay, you're doing in ODL mode, right? So you will join the research methods for research methods online with the other students, physical students, right? That I believe the module will be offered sometime in January. Okay, for the time being, you want to meet with your supervisors and identify the literature that you need to read. Okay? If you are sort of lost, you can always write to Dr. Buma for further guidance. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay. 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 All right. Do you have any other questions? All right. Welcome to APU. Have a good rest tonight. Back to you.
All right. Once again, thank you so much. And for those of you here and online as well, thank you so much for having me as your MC. I know it's not been a pretty smooth sailing journey so far. There were a couple of hiccups on the way. So it's all right. We all learn and grow in the process. So all the best to all of you that has joined in for our postgraduate program. And also welcome to APU. My name is Edison and have a great night. See you.